Stomp, man, bump, 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 and
Push
push
it.
it. You push it real good. We are live.
We're starting a band.
Oh no! Oh, no. Live again, born again, like Black Sabbath. I
Yeah,
love that Black Sabbath story. You know that Black Sabbath record, Born Again? Are you a Black Sabbath fan,
I've
Phil?
got that record.
I do like Black Sabbath. Yes, I do. I do like a good portion of their songs.
Are you familiar with that Born Again record?
No. I mean, like
Born
I'm kind of
Again's
like
funny
Iron Man,
because
Paranoid, and War Pigs. Those are like my three.
Born Again's funny because it's at the nexus, another nexus of Black Sabbath's career.
Okay.
And what happens, that story behind Born Again is just, it's fucking fantastic, incredible, and funny. They, Black Sabbath breaks apart and they hire Ronnie James Dio to become the lead singer. And Ozzy now and Sabbath are competing. Ozzy's wife, Sharon, her father is the manager for Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy gets away from Black Sabbath with the help of Sharon, and they start their own career free from the father. This is the way the story's told if you go look deep into it. Or not deep into it, just the surface level that you can find. Supposedly, Ozzy's and Sharon's stuff, it's doing better than they expected, and they hire this artist to do the album covers for Wizard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. I don't know the guy's name. Pardon me. Somebody could look it up if you're interested. And so Ozzy takes on this image when they produce those first two records. You know, they recorded both those records at the same time. That wasn't, let's make one record, wait 2-3 years and make another. With Randy Rhoads, they made both those records at the same time, which is another weird, strange thing, because he gets killed before they make any other records except for their live record. So when Ozzy makes the live album, Speak of the Devil, Sabbath's like, we got to make a live album with Ronnie James Dio. It's called Live Evil. And so they come out with these two records. The third Ozzy record is made by the same artist. All the artwork and the lettering style and coloring is done by the same artist. So Sharon's father gets this idea of he's going to get a hold of Ozzy's artist and have him do an album cover because Dio leaves the band, and after Live Evil, that's the last project with Dio. But the next record that Black Sabbath comes out with is Born Again, and it's Sharon Osbourne's dad's attempt to overthrow Ozzy, to come up with something better than Ozzy. So he comes up with the idea, get Ozzy's artist to do our album cover. So Ozzy's artist does that Born Again record album cover.
Yeah, it's like a devil baby.
It's like a devil baby, and it's ripped, and it's a bad image ripped off of people tracked down the image of the baby, and it was some famous clip from before. They literally took a baby that was on Time Life magazine. I don't know if you can look that picture up, but a famous baby picture of going, and he turned it into, flipped the negative image, did these gaudy colors like purple and red and yellow on this baby, and made it a baby into a demon, like being born, and they called it Born Again. You know, that was the name of the record.
It's a horrible album.
He thought he thought they wouldn't like it. They wouldn't hire him because that could get him in trouble with Ozzy. But actually, Sharon Osbourne's dad loved it. and they went with it, and everybody thought it was ridiculous, but they went with it anyways. And so that whole record, that whole story of that record is funnier than hell. They get Ian Gillan. They meet Black Sabbath meets Ian Gillan for the first time and says, "We want to make a record with you," and they hire him on the spot. He doesn't even know that he did a verbal contract and he's going to sing on the next record. Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. So Deep Purple hadn't done a record for years, and suddenly you're going to make him. Maybe they've done some records.
Deep Purple was a good band.
Somewhere close. Not a great band, but they bring him in and it's going to be a great fit. But he wakes up next day, doesn't realize he's already committed to doing the album, Ian Gillan. And so they make Born Again with Black Sabbath. And the first side of the records, all the songs are fantastic. The second side, they're kind of B songs. It's funnier than hell. All they did was made songs of what they was experiencing. Because the album starts out with a song called Trashed, which is just an incredible Deep Purple. And it's a song about a guy driving down the road drunk. Yeah, I was cruising down the city. Wasn't really pretty. And he's having fun. And it's all this incredible music. But he ends up getting into a crash because he's drinking and driving, which is based upon something he was really doing. It was goofy shit like this. Whole different direction for Sabbath, because Sabbath is known as this deep philosophical band. Now all of a sudden they let Ian Gillan write some songs from Deep Purple. And if anybody knows Deep Purple, they did that song Highway Star. I'm a highway star.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Song where he's just driving cruising down the freeway at hippies.
He tried to rip off his own song. Highway Star Cruising.
They did like if Sabbath met Deep Purple. That's what that song Trash is about. Kind of reminds you of the Black Sabbath mixed with Deep Purple.
Well,
second song is. Yes, sir.
Sorry. Did you know that Sharon Osbourne's dad was supposedly connected?
Yes. That's one of the parts. When I looked into that, I'm like, oh, this explains everything. The English mafia.
Yep.
Spooky,
and supposedly that when Sharon took Ozzy from him, that he had even supposedly put out a hit on her.
Yeah. Did not like it.
Yeah, the rumor towards that. I used to like Sharon Osbourne, but she is someone who is, another person who is totally surgically altered themselves into dimensions that are
it's getting weird.
Yeah, plastic surgery's fucked up.
My wife loves Osbourne. She suddenly realized, this guy's really funny. Watched everything now, loves Ozzy, years later. Yeah. Well, we came from the 80s. My wife and I we loved Ozzy, heavy metal. We loved heavy metal. If you had any sense about you, and you can catch on it. If you were a teenager in the 80s, you found Ozzy and Iron Maiden and all the Black Sabbath and all those guys. Man, that was the fucking height of rebellious teenage music. Twisted Sister, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. Fantastic time to be a teenager into heavy metal and punk. Fucking killer music. Show me something today. I'm sure there's lots of it, but back then, the only place to find music was either on the radio or at a record store by word of mouth. Or maybe you saw a flyer for some band coming to town, if you were some teenager that could do that stuff. So a whole different universe back then. Today, everything you're hearing is run through the internet.
Yep.
YouTube.
Influencers and the occasional soundtrack. When I was growing up, I think of, we were going from records to, tapes and CDs. But I remember when they were talking about music that it kind of, it was the Tipper Gore, Susan Baker, the labels of censorship and, that sort of thing. PMRC. Yep, absolutely. Yep. And the groups that were considered, the espousing of satanic music and whatnot. But It's funny.
And as we look back on these things now, we find out that these things look more staged than anything else. Of course, there's a moral majority that's coming together of concerned parents. Like that's always the case, right?
Well,
and then you bring Twisted Sister D. Schneider in and Frank Zappa, that are both military industrial children or whatever, to argue against the parents against the music so they can see. We won, free speech won today. By the time that those hearings were over, what the parents won, or whatever the moral majority was they got to put stickers on records that said, beware, if your child's 13 or younger, this might not be good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a law. It was a weird industry.
Was it from Reagan's wife or something?
No, it was Al Gore.
Al Gore's wife and James Baker's wife. James Baker, who was chief of staff and later Secretary of State, and was one point Democrat, but later on a good friend. I mean, he had been a good friend of George H.W. Bush, and very influential figure. But yeah, the PMRC, kind of how they. So the story goes is that Tipper Gore buys Purple Rain for her daughters. And when she listens to the lyrics, oh my God, she's shocked, and, leads to this whole, sort of crusade, kind of like when television violence, when Janet Reno was Attorney General, or, too much sex in TV shows, what they call the Ricolta boycott with Married with Children, because this housewife in Michigan had turned on to a very particularly unpleasant episode of Married with Children and was like, oh my God, there's
in the mid-50s, Phil, they have in the mid-50s they have hearings on the influence of comic books on on young children's minds. But they have a name for the hearings. There's a famous name comic book collectors talk about. After 1955, comic books had to register with the Comic Book Authority because dangerous ideas and criminal things. You couldn't put any reference to drug use in comic books until about 1969, from 55 to 69. You couldn't show a guy shooting up because the government made that illegal to show it in comic books.
Yeah,
they'd allow it in magazines. It was a ridiculous thing. Mad Magazine went from a comic book to a magazine because they could continue on with satire if they went into magazine form. But comic book size book was illegal, but from the government. You couldn't run it. You couldn't print anything that was shocking or
it sounds like
unliving themselves.
An extension of the Hays Code, which was with motion pictures. And when they started policing, what was it, Jane Russell in The Outlaw, and the cleavage, and they were policing the Howard Hughes movies. And again, yes, there's certain things where it's like, okay, maybe this is inappropriate. Well, you know what? If you're a parent, you know what movie you should or shouldn't be taking your child to. What is indecent nowadays? It's like shit. I mean, we've seen so many things that cross the lines, not even in terms of sexuality, but in terms of violence, that surpasses anything we could have originally imagined. And when they come to the whole thing about song lyrics, I think the labels kind of just put where it was the opposite. If you saw those labels, you wanted to get it even more. And when you think of the fact that in certain of these industries, you have either intelligence connections. I mean, and with intelligence, I'll go with the fact Miles Copeland, the CIA agent whose son ran IRS record label, or the fact that you had the organized crime element, which was involved in various record labels, like anything that was under the MCA label for a long time. Or you had Sonny Franchise, who was involved with record labels, or a guy named Gaetano Corky Vastola, who was involved with record labels. I said, no, if you put the label, it's not going to hurt you as much as you think. Throw somebody else. Tommy Mottola, a guy who like was high up in the music business, or Clive Davis. I don't think those warning labels are going to be the poison that the Tipper Gores and Susan Bakers once thought. Movies are a little bit different. I mean, that NC-17 stamp pretty much was the death knell on movies in the 90s and forward until it went on video. But, you know, I mean, Midnight Cowboy back in the 60s was technically an X-rated film.
Everybody's talking.
An Academy Award.
Can't hear what I'm saying.
You know,
only comes to my mind.
It's the time and place sort of thing.
Yeah, RoboCop was X-rated when it came out.
Really? And that was Verhoeven, Paul Verhoeven, who did Showgirl.
Yeah, I remember seeing RoboCop when it came out.
Sorry, you made reference to Midnight Cowboy.
Years later. And meanwhile, there was the Miguel Ferrer connection, because Miguel Ferrer is in RoboCop. He's the one who, I think, designed him or gave the go-ahead for RoboCop before his character gets killed. In that, because he winds up being actually not a good guy. He's getting prostitutes and he's a coke sniffer and stuff like that. But Paul Verhoeven, who directed Showgirls, did RoboCop. I didn't see that until years later, because to be honest, it's kind of cool that there's a Twin Peaks RoboCop connection amongst many other genres, because there's a lot of people in RoboCop. I mean, the father from that 70s show is the chief bad guy in RoboCop.
Yeah, Red.
What's his name? Red. Red Foreman.
Kurtwood Smith. Yep.
He's done that role before. He's kind of a tight cast.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was one of those guys who either played like the villain or the stuffed shirt. You know, I mean, yeah, that 70s show was a different way. And to be honest, that 70s show goes, the creators of that were SNL writers. So there's that connection again, you know. But by the way, with Twisted Sister, I actually have a little bit of a connection to that, because my uncle worked in one of the bars that those guys met. And Dee Snider name-checked my uncle and Godfather in his autobiography. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Name checked your uncle and Godfather. Was your uncle a mob character?
No, he was just a bartender, and his nickname was Wah, because he used to be like Wah, like WAH, and that's how Dee Snider referred to him as. That was his nickname. Yeah,
there you go. I think I heard Dee Snider say that.
my uncle Phil, my namesake. Yeah, he passed back in
cool.
2012. But yeah, Dee Snider, I mean, he's very opinionated. He's very uber liberal. But I said, you know, I'm not going to shit on the guy for an opinion. You know who I'll shit on? Someone who has an unenlightened opinion. Someone who talks out their ass, you know, and to be honest, a couple of those people blocked me on Twitter, the unenlightened sorts. But, you know, the David Wilcock.
Any big names?
Of the world.
There you go.
Both of whom I've met. The two people who blocked me, I've met them. One is a best-selling author. One is a comedian who had a show on Fox. So.
Maybe it's an honor badge to wear proudly, Phil.
It was.
I got blocked by Lakota Man for calling him out on his bullshit.
See, I just never even. I started on there a long time ago, and I thought there ain't no fucking way I'm going on here. I just backed the fuck out, and I just don't even know.
I think
Elon Musk wish I'd come on there, but they want you to go through all this garbage to get on, and I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. There's enough. Stupid.
The author who blocked me, I think, did so because I said E. Jean Carroll is not a hero, and she's not. And the comedian who blocked me, it had to do with Ashley Babbitt with the Capitol. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So, you know, whatever. Your opinion's your opinion, but don't try to tell me that you're all about like enlightenment and this and that. Like, no, if you block someone, unless someone is like literally stalking you, being insulting, a difference of opinion, and you block me, yeah, no, you can take your enlightened opinion and shove it up your ass. You're not. But
excuse me.
I'm always hoping differences of opinion is allowed everywhere, of course.
Well, I did want to let you know your name's been upgraded to Phil the Dewey Decimal Tactician. So now you're a logistics tactician.
That'll attract a lot of people. Can explain David Wilcock's complex mathematical theories.
You know what? I mean, I love listening to the guys from Hidden in Plain. I've never heard of David Wilcock until Terry and Brandon from Hidden in Plain Sight, and
is that recently or
2021? I only heard those guys from Macroaggressions. Charlie Robinson. I
don't know him, but I've heard his show definitely many times.
Love his show. So
he's good. But David Wilcock, man, he's one that's been around a long time with Corey Good and going to the desert and getting people to aliens and selling.
His career didn't start to go downhill until he embraced Corey Good. Like David Wilcock was known from everything I heard. He was Ancient Aliens. He was involved with Gaia TV. He was involved with guys who were like, "Look,
everything's going to be up. We're going to get to the bottom of the alien thing."
Corey Good was well, you know what? So Corey Good was part of where David Wilcock went wrong. The other one was this guy, Pete Peterson, who was like a government insider who introduced him to Stavati, which is this aerospace company that is. Stavati is what Moderna was before Moderna came out with the COVID shot. Moderna was a pharmaceutical company that never brought an entire product to market ever until 2020. Stavati has
like a fucking movie, like Nothing But Trouble. Never brought anything like this to market before, but we're gonna make it work.
Stavati is a company out of Buffalo that has liens on their property, has not brought anything outside of scale models. And the only funding they've gotten is by a Greek gentleman who is suing them, and David Wilcock, who has funded them. The gentleman who owns it, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to out him, and I don't want Clint to get in trouble. But that asshole took Wilcock for a ride, and that's kind of what it is. David Wilcock, being a smart guy, and used to claim about how he'd read 300 books. That was kind of like his claim to fame. I've read 300 books. Okay.
300? Nice. Harry's read 10,000.
I know.
Your average seventh grader's read at least
Todd has read more,
50.
And I have read 240 in a year. So I'm like 300 isn't as much as we're thinking it is. But
we've got our news correspondent.
But that might put him well above your average teenager today. So here we go. That might put him well above your average teenager today. 300.
The average teenager
college graduate.
The average teenager today believes that they're getting the story of the Kennedy assassination through NBC. So, there is that aspect. But when 300 books, I mean, shit, you could read 300 books on World War II, and it's like, oh, that was all about Hitler. You still haven't gotten to this, and this. Like, you're still missing a key point. And the whole thing about where David Wilcock comes in is, yes, there was many aspects, because I've heard his lectures from the guys from Hidden in Plain Sight, where he is very well spoken. And then there's other things, like when he got into the whole Michael prophecies, where he said he either was the Archangel Michael or he was receiving messages from the Archangel Michael, and he was just regurgitating the same tired comments over and over again. Or he would basically do like a Deus Ex Machina sort of situation, where it'd be like, hey, here's a book I wrote in 1999, but hey, the stuff that just happened the last year? Well, that's here now. Like, he would try to like cover for missed prophecies by saying, well, it was there the entire time. Or, I helped save Donald Trump from the bullet in Butler, PA, because I took a nap that day. His thoughts were becoming so much more
crazy.
Yes. And just so separate from reality. Yes, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But yet people kept giving him money. They were enabling him by donation. And that's the sad part. I said,
wasn't there drugs too involved somewhere down the road? Wasn't he imbibing slightly as he's going down this?
He said he smoked. I mean, so that used to be the joke.
He smoked like Clint Eastwood. He smoked even higher grade shit. He was smoking.
I think it was
I don't know if he was smoking that
weed,
often.
But he'd go on, guys, I'm sober, and like Perry and Brandon from Hidden in Plain Sight be like, you're a week sober, like because those guys from the show.
There's some claim he was doing LSD. He was doing LSD too.
Well, I don't know if he probably had the henta from the rat poop in his house.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I think there was a point. So I think there was a point where, yes, he was so detached.
He's seeing stars.
Well,
that Christ consciousness stuff doesn't detach.
Traveling to other universes.
He was talking to the animals outside his house. He was talking to turkeys. He was talking to moose. He was trying to commune with the bears that would pop up outside his house. There was such a flight from reality, but no one ever stepped in. Like, that's kind of what happened.
Stepped in. They were probably joining him. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money, nice environment, best fucking place to drop some acid, some shrooms, some smoke, some dope.
He was.
I mean, I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying.
Well, no, it might have. So by 2022, he was divorced from his wife. His wife had issues with the Corey Good situation. You also had the fact that he was being sued by Gaia, who he had worked with, Gaia TV, who he had called Luciferians. What else? He owed a huge tax debt, which was getting like more and more, because I don't think he'd ever actually paid anything to them. And, and he had really embraced QAnon. And again, there's nothing wrong with taking certain things, but it was funny enough, like that someone, I forget who had just dropped in the Twitter chat, the thing about the Gambino family boss who was killed back in 2019, supposedly by a QAnon. And that guy got pretty much like put in a, rabbit hole or memory hold, and we've never heard from him again for his own protection. But with David Wilcock, it was like he'd come out with these live streams, and it would always start the same way. I'm happy to be here. Well, it's really scary time to be alive, and I was like, shit, that's not.
But at the same time, it's very exciting for humanity. It's very exciting.
And we're going to talk crop circles again, and it was like he was Captain Rehash. I mean, that was part of it, and they kind of vilified, people who were kind of calling that out, whether it be Hidden in Plain Sight or Stephen Canby, and these guys were just trying to say, hey, David Wilcock's not okay, Like,
didn't that Cassidy, that Cassidy that was Midnight in the Desert? Didn't she promote him? Didn't she promote him like nothing else? I mean, just or did she? I don't know, because I didn't follow.
She doesn't believe he's dead.
Yeah, so isn't she like one of his biggest? We don't either. He actually lives over on Clint's channel. I heard there's a rumor that he's popped in once or twice under
he's been reincarnated.
Secret. He changes his voice. It sounds like JJ when he calls him out.
He promoted David promoted Corey Good. And then it kind of went from there. So now, like, she's saying, and she sounds completely unhinged. I think she had a stroke, and then she got taken by some scam artist. But she's saying that David Wilcock is part of he has been taken by the secret space program. Which, by the way, not saying that doesn't exist, but the people who come out to say it are all grifters. Like Corey Good.
A big meme going right now, like today, there's a few channels I watch. I like some of these short channels, YouTube channels, where they take all the viral clips and make a real short version of them, and then they make funny commentary of them. There's a huge market for that.
Yeah.
Couple of them. One of them I love is Awebo. He's some short, pudgy white dude that sits there and watches like 10 viral videos in 15 minutes, and it just makes a funny comment at the end of them. But one of them that's going around is that is the Dave Wilcock thing. There's a 13th scientist that died today. That's on these viral video things. It's like
scientists.
13 scientists over 2 or 3 years. It's like, it's very suspicious, working with nuclear science. He had some, he's involved. How many million scientists do you think there are in the United States?
Well, are we talking scientists, or are we talking
living today, right now? I mean, how many? Yeah, I'm talking about scientists. Just put the word scientists on. How many of those do you think there are in the United States living right now? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million scientists? Is a scientist a kid in high school? Is a scientist a professor that's working with flubber? These are questions. But my point is 13 scientists dying in 2 or 3 year period is not suspicious. Even if they did work with nuclear reaction and Space Force. 13 is kind of like, how many people fell off of the Grand Canyon, fell off the ridge of the Grand Canyon? It's quite a few probably last year.
Well, lady was doing an investigation on this TV show on HBO. Well, it reminds you of what you're saying, because these 1 year in Yosemite Park, all these climbers, 25 climbers died, and that one of them, they did a HBO special called The Dark Wizard that's on HBO right now, and like it seems kind of interesting. It seems kind of fishy that 25 died in the same spot in 1 year.
I want to mention one other thing in these UFO files, since we have David Wilcock with us this evening in spirit. They've shown how a lot of these UFO files are stuff that they've taken from Edgar Casey said. Somebody said Edgar Casey said. And, I mean, shit like that. And then there's other things that just are made out of whole cloth, where they've taken a video that they know is not a UFO, but it looks like one. But because somebody thinks it looks like one, they put it out there as a UFO video, and people are playing it everywhere, going, look at this weird UFO, when they already said in their own report it's not a UFO. So there's this kind of shit going on too.
So
speaking of UFOs,
they know it isn't a UFO. It says right in the file, this is not a UFO. But they're putting it on YouTube and viral videos as, look at this UFO. Wow, incredible. Oh my God. Shit like that is going on.
Right. So a couple things. So there was the whole thing where David Wilcock said he was the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. And one of the interesting things was a book he co-wrote, that co-author died right before Wilcock killed himself. That is weird. That is very, very strange. Just in terms of like if you want to call it synchronicity, or can we just call it the high strangeness of kind of life. With UFOs and this sort of limited hangout of the first amount of files that have come out, like I saw some of the things they were referencing. They were referencing the whole Maury Island UFO. It's kind of like the way they released a lot of the first JFK files, or what was being purported as being the release on social media, where people were like treating Operation Northwoods as something that just had been revealed to them. And it's like, well, no, Operation Northwoods was revealed at least 25 years ago, but it's new to you. I call it the whole, what was...
Well, Cooper had it in his book, I think, and That book's from 1990.
Even before then, yeah, 1991, 1992 was when Behold a Pale Horse came out, which I will always think of the fact that that was Daniel Casolaro's original title for his book. But with Northwoods, like I said, I call it the old NBC thing they used to run with their shows. Haven't seen it. It's new to me. Like, that's what they're running with a lot of these files. They're out there. If you want to go look, people have been finding them for years, but now they're like, oh, hey, I'm giving you this. This is new. You haven't seen this. Oh, I'm seeing Maury Island and Fred Chrisman and, these names that have been popping up in conspiracy culture for years. Oh, shit. Guy Bannister, the guy from JFK, is popping up in the UFO file. And it's like, yeah, no, we're onto it. You are way behind. The United States government is telling you this is new information. It
reminds me of this audio clip that I looked for a few months.
Yeah, Clint plays this one on occasion. Similar.
Well, there was fake ones out there, and then and I heard this clip originally like at least 15 years ago on William Cooper's show, but we
are now prepared to play not only as a plus the booster.
Hi, Gemini 7 here, Houston 98.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Yeah, so that's the clip that wasn't on the. I heard the clip before, but it wasn't on the internet, and then it was just released like last week or whatever, and just like this video, and so I already knew about that audio clip.
Do you have the video? I mean, I'm not sure you can pull it up, Clint, but there's one of these videos like you're showing right now. It's a black and white one. And the image on the screen is this really bizarre looking black star that has 8 points coming off it.
That's in this video.
That one right there, the one that I'm referring to, has a trail coming off it as it moves across the screen. What they've shown now is that they've clipped that video and they've clipped out the parachute. And this is actually a flare, a military flare, that leaves a trail, and the parachute's in the video if they run it 30 seconds before. And so there's a lot of deception that's going on with these viral videos that are coming out.
Well, none of these UFOs in the video look like any UFOs I've ever seen. Like the ones that I've seen were, I think Phil's computer might have died.
Oh, darn it. I love Phil. Phil Cesaro. You rock, sir. Keep coming back to Clint's show. Always be on JJ's show.
Sometimes StreamYard he might be back. Sometimes StreamYard overloads computers for some reason.
We love Phil's super brain, yeah. Phil's in for our putty brains. Quite nice putty brains.
Well, it's like I don't know. None of these oh, he's back. None of these videos.
Greetings, gents. Greetings, gents. Did I miss Phil?
It's JJ. You just missed Phil. God damn it.
Well, actually, I'm the disembodied blue avian spirit of David Wilcock. Well, good to see you, sir.
So you're saying you're not David Wilcock?
No, I'm saying I've ascended.
You are the ascended.
I've ascended. I'm the disembodied blue avian spirit of David Wilcock.
Just in time. Just in time. We were asking very important questions. What were they, Clint?
David Wilcock's.
What does David Wilcock slick his hair back with? Great question. I'm not sure. One of the secrets of the universe.
How did they get that perfect skin?
How do you achieve such a glowing skin?
How's those sagging eyes, though? Sagging eyes. Looking at too many alien videos.
He achieved the serious consciousness, and then he.
I think he's one of those guys they funnel money through because he danced around for some wealthy, overlords, and then when they were done with him, they had him donate his money to a fraud. Basically, He gave $2 million to this Stavati Aerospace fraud.
Yeah, where they're building a ship. We're going to build a ship. I've heard about this project.
Yeah, man. Build some ships over here.
Yeah, but that Stavati's connected to some cult.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Then they got to keep the money within the cult that way.
Is that picture on there, Clint? Is that David Wilcock? This picture you got up there with the screaming man?
Well, you're the wizard on the right. Wilcox is, I'm assuming, on the left.
Oh, I'm the guy in the fucking.
Where's the blue avian?
That's the good. Maybe I should alter it again.
I'm the guy in the Witchfinder General hat. Yeah, you need some birds up here, bluebirds. No, Phil brought up some really interesting stuff too about how they might have took advantage of him.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, he was already back in the 90s. There were a lot of people that claimed they got abducted by aliens. There was the alien abducted.
That was a real popular thing. Who do you think funded that? USAID?
Yeah, sell you their audio tape for $2 or $3. You can hear their experience, what the aliens did.
Yeah, like Travis Walton, you know, right?
Yeah,
it's huge. And they were inviting people to buy their tape, come and hear them speak. They can help you with your problem if you think you saw one. And then just like Heaven's Gate, you can come and live with us, and we'll verify your whatever your delusion is.
Yeah.
Convince you it's real. Exactly. Convince you it's real. There's a ton of that shit going on.
Oh yeah, dude.
And better in real life, like Charlie Manson singing good.
We see there was actually programs funded for for cults of that nature.
Yeah.
Project
Sounds like a giant mass.
Megado.
Let's see how many UFO organizations we can spawn off, how many people we can convince they were abducted by aliens.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you're right. It becomes a game to the people doing it, right?
And then we can determine down the road how ready people are for the idea of an alien invasion, because eventually that's the play. That's what Bill Cooper was saying. They'll eventually come out with this fake alien invasion and tell everybody that aliens are real and you have to bow down to them.
It seems like they're trying to do that right now, doesn't it?
You have to fight them first, like we do with the Russians. You know, you have to fight the communists. And if you lose, then you have to bow down. But
it sounds like a speech Ronald Reagan gave at the UN, right?
More money is basically always the final.
Yeah, less rights, more money passed over, less rights. Yep.
And you know, there's always a bunch of cocaine involved. If there wasn't so much cocaine involved, you'd probably be, now that we hear that it's just all cocaine all the time involved in all these operations. Makes more sense.
That's one of the secrets of all Muppetry in this world, sir, is on every financial document, on every Muppet organization across the land, there's 2 line items. One is marked cocaine, the other one is marked hookers.
Exactly. And the more of those you have, the better the project's going to run you. So.
Absolutely, dude. There's at least 20% getting allocated to cocaine and hookers in every project.
I wonder if there was ever those Walton people that they passed the lie detector, but if you were hypnotized, you would pass the lie detector, and that William Cooper, he interviews that dude Walton, and his original story, all he says is that he's seen a light, and then he doesn't know where he was, and then he reappeared at something, and but then as the story changed over time, I don't know if it was changed because of money or changed because maybe they brainwashed him a little bit more or something.
Who's that? Biff Walton?
The Fire in the Sky dude.
Yeah, Travis Walton. Yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit, right? He does a normal Satanist retirement plan of Buddhism today.
Well, Satanist retirement.
Doesn't he tour the country giving speeches or
dressed in his Buddhist garb,
UFO shows?
No one within those communities really buy it anymore. Even I don't believe he's got a lot of buyers, and even in their own
followers are falling off.
Right. It's like Whitley Strieber. He's in the same bucket, right? Kind of as Travis Walton.
Totally. gets boring after a certain period of time. It's like nobody's following me anymore. No one wants to hear my story.
Yeah.
About the owls.
I mean, I think folks is much like anything else. Like you awaken to as a child to Santa Claus being bullshit. You don't really want to you don't want to make a big deal about it. It's just life goes on. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of folks, even in the UFO believing communities, they just kind of look at those guys like a Santa Claus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, each generation has its Santa Claus moment.
Well, no one believes in George Adamski things. No one, you know what I mean? There's just so many examples of that in quote unquote ufology, right?
No one believes the government's here to help you anymore.
You mean to tell me that fucking Donald Trump's not here to help me, sir?
Well, he's trying, but everybody's
I like that Australian flag thing.
That's very hard.
I love the Australian flag thing, dude. That's fantastic, dude. That's some epic trolling, dude.
Yeah.
The Australian flag is trolling.
He's trolled the King of England.
King Charles came here last week. Oh, go ahead, Clint.
I missed. I am out of the loop, man. I'm working in the fucking desert. My mind is mush from the sun.
He trolled the King of England with the 15 Australian flags that he raised when the King of England visited.
Okay.
Well, he didn't raise. He didn't raise the British flag. He raised the Australian.
The British wasn't in there. The British one wasn't in there.
Well, the Australian flag, much like on our Stars and Stripes, you get the stars up there, and they got the Union Jack on the Australian flag, but it's obviously a different flag.
Yeah, he's making fun of
the wrong flag for the wrong country, dude. I think that's great.
I do love Trump trolling everyone all the time.
He had to have done it.
He's a great troll, dude. He missed an opportunity as a comedian for sure, dude. His timing is great too. When he told that lady the other day on the lawn, getting on the helicopter, he's like, "Yeah, we doubled the size of the ballroom," and then she goes, "Oh, but we're staying under budget, so we doubled the size of the ballroom." He's like, "I'm financing it." She's like, "Oh, you're not under budget." He says, "You doubled the budget." He goes, "Are you a dumb person? You're a dumb person. I just told you we doubled the size. Of course, we doubled the cost."
I love that.
Yeah.
You're a very bad reporter. Very bad.
Yeah, you're an awful. Your outlet does nothing but lie.
It's like when he went on that. He went on.
Be ashamed of yourself. Go back to your organization.
He went on 60 Minutes or something, and the lady's like, just saying some crazy shit that you see the leftists saying on the internet. And it's like, he's like, "Excuse me, man. Like that's not like you guys have balls to say that shit."
Leslie Stahl. What? Sir. Oh, sir.
Oh, when he's saying the election was stolen?
Yeah.
No, the lady was like,
I'm saying that's when that 60 Minutes
saying the sexual allegations against him that he never even went to court.
Well, that's some of the stuff about the Epstein files, dude. Everyone's like, "Oh, Trump and Epstein." Everything in them files they released were all reports. They weren't even 302s. They were calls to a 1-800 number.
YouTube is filled with viral videos or whatever. If you go through news feeds that show, finally Trump is busted. The videos are here.
Yeah, and everything they cite or complaints to a 1-800 number that was not vetted. There's no evidence of it except.
And it's AI videos of Trump lying in the background with a young girl's shoulder showing over the.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're going what? Okay.
I know
I've seen a lot of those, dude. I know what you're talking about. There's a lot of AI stuff like that going around.
Yeah,
some of this is possibly real, and now it's being smeared.
I'll tell you what's real. That's the aliens, sir. We're all going to get saved, dude. We're about to give you ascended, Blue Avian style.
I'm not talking about the Trump with the young girls real. I'm talking about the Blue Avians probably real.
Yeah, there we go. Now you're talking my language.
Well, I went on Facebook.
The Blue Aliens are real, so they're trying to make them sound ridiculous. No.
Yeah, we're living in a chupacabra versus Blue Avian Illuminati world order, dude. They're
David Wilcock was right all along.
Yeah, David Wilcock was right. We're stuck in between. It's the chupacabras versus the Blue Avians.
No, I mean, chupacabras are cooler, obviously, I guess.
Yeah, but the Blue Avians are like fifth dimensional beings, dude. They can transcend light. I'm not sure if the chupacabras have that in them.
I wish somebody was here that could do a bird call. Something. something good, but no, there's no one here that can do bird call right now.
Yeah, I'm not much of a bird caller.
Damn, I don't know what kind of bird that is.
There's some strange birds out there.
I hear it in the morning.
Maybe it's the southwestern bird cockswallow. There we go. The southwestern cockswallow.
It's the official David Wilcock bird.
that is David Wilcock's favorite bird, the southwestern cockswallow.
Shit's gotten so bad it makes everyone wonder if any of these people are real or if they're fictional characters that have been created and designed, even though you've watched them over 15 years.
Yeah, Jay Widener's an interesting character. What are your all's take on that guy?
I'm not familiar.
He's been around a long time, Jay Widener.
Yeah, and I've talked to him before. He's a cordial enough fellow to talk to. He's done some film projects with Ryder Lee.
Yeah, he's one of he did not this Kubrick one, but the one before it was Ryder Lee.
Yeah, he did the Kubrick one, I think, too, in the JFKX. Yeah,
JFKX. It's good stuff.
But I think he was the director of management or talent over there at Gaia.
That's kind of a wild place to work.
Yeah, I know.
All these people talk about each other like
he was involved professionally with Corey Good and David Wilcock in that capacity.
All those people talk about it. One that goes on with Ryder Lee, Ryan Gables, The Secret Teachings, which I
don't know him. What's he do?
He does. He's did a massive book on Manly P. Hall, and he goes into all the ancient secret societies and mysteries.
Oh, nice.
Has a real rational head on his shoulders as far as
Warwick Davis.
Ryan Gables.
Oh, okay. I thought you said okay, my bad.
He fills in on occasion for Clyde Lewis, so he was taken into that network, and they spit him out,
I don't think Clyde Lewis ever spit anything out the size of him.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, here he is. Wasn't a turkey leg.
Oh wait.
Is that a big fat person? Ever tell you how to do?
Is Clyde Lewis a great big fat person? Oh wait.
Ever tell you how to do that? Who's that guy, JJ? Who's that guy's name? Do you know that guy?
David Wilcock, dude. He's our Blue Alien Ambassador, dude. Blue Alien Ambassador.
The Sounds of the Lamb killer.
Oh, that Clyde Lewis.
Clyde Lewis. He's the Sounds of the Ham killer, dude. He killed all that ham. Look at him. He's a great big fat person.
Oh, there you go. Wait, she big fat person. No, I ain't seen her. Clyde Lewis is classic, ancient radio personality on paranormal, political.
Oh, he's still going. He's got a syndicated show. Yeah, His mentor was one of the suspects in the D.B. Cooper case.
Yeah. Tracy Twyman was his producer.
Yeah.
But he connects to the David Wilcox thing through the.
He connects to Fred Chrisman, the grassy knoll shooter.
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, he's 1 or 2 degrees of Fred Chrisman. So Clyde Lewis's mentor was Wolfgang Gossett, a Mormon fellow, and he was a suspect in the D.B.
Cooper.
Yeah. Well, he also had a conspiracy theory radio program. That's where Clyde was his producer, much like Tracy Twyman was his producer later. And that dude, Wolfgang Gossett, was the producer for Fred Chrisman's conspiracy theory program out of Tacoma, Washington.
Which is crazy.
Dude, that's different. Fred Chrisman's the first guy to see a UFO. He's a grassy knoll shooter, dude. He battled goblins, I think, in an underground cave in Burma, according to him.
Now there's David Wilcock.
Well, think about Fred Chrisman's Burma cave adventures of battling demons and goblins, dude. That's basically a David Wilcock Blue Avian tale.
Yeah. Yeah. I freaking
So Ryan Gable, he's a David Wilcock hater, or doesn't like him much. Does tons of shows for about 2 or 3 years on David Wilcock, running reels of him saying all this crazy shit and just making fun of David Wilcock's full tilt. Some people like the Higher Side Chats guy.
Are you in my fucking brain hole, sir? I'm literally typing the Higher Side Chats right now as you're saying Higher Side Chats.
He's a magician.
I am a wizard.
I think you are, dude. I think you are a wizard. I was literally typing Higher Side Chats.
I'm reading your mind, JJ. Can you tell me? Have you ever heard of mentalism? Have you ever heard of this trick?
I think you're a fucking wizard, sir. I think you do that magic.
We're psychic spies.
What were you typing in and thinking about Greg Carlwood?
Oh, well, I had just saved some of his episodes the other day. I was listening to break down some of her commentary on the Satanic Panic via some Carlwood shows, because Gerald Hall was saying he saved Clyde Lewis's shows with her before they were taken down.
And so what I was going to reference with Greg Carlwood was where he was going, man, Ryan Gable's really going hard on Dave Wilcock. You know, the guy's family, can't you think about them? He just died. It's like, can't you feel
for sure, dude? Have some decency. Ted just got shot by lasers.
Have some decency. Ted got shot twice by lasers, man. His eyebrows are getting really thin. He's looking really strange.
Looking a little like Aykroyd in the movie. Huh?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying. Carlwood was kind of like, I've been there before. People coming at you. After Tracy Twyman, Carlwood was kind of under the microscope because Twyman did the Dead Man videos.
Yeah, she kind of threw it out there, right? I think that's what I'm saying. It was some fed on, fed up, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, and you don't even know. It's like, who the fuck knows what's going on here? Because
there's no death certificate on that lady.
Community at that time. Well, the death certificate thing's what JJ brings up all the time. And other people have been mentioned how they can't.
No, but I will give Carlwood this credit. His childhood best friend that was doing research with her at the time, this fellow named Kyle Prendeville, he did get institutionalized against as well. I found the court record of that.
And knows Isaac Cappy. It was hanging with Isaac.
Well,
Cappy,
he didn't know Isaac Cappy. He only knew Tracy through his friend Greg.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you hear the story, it's like, do I even want to know any more of this? Holy shit. Kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I think that's part of the purpose. Like who really, it deters folks from legitimate inquiries, right? First of all, if you look into it, you're a nut job, like insert nut job who died looking into it. And if you're
like
not,
the guy that went to Planet Comet Pizza.
Exactly, dude. It discredits the story, dude. It serves a great purpose. That's precisely what I'm saying. It serves a great purpose to discredit the story. She did a fantastic job of that, dude. Because she was doing she and I communicated on some Podesta stuff. And I'm not saying that she did a great job at that, but I'm just saying like she muddied the waters on a lot of things. She started her own QAnon, dude. Called Steve Altram did a great job documenting it that he thought she was some sort of operation. And
did you hear?
He's the one who released that Dead Man switch because he didn't appreciate her sending it to him.
That is a strange scene of sense. She was putting out some pretty wild.
Yeah, dude, she didn't know Steve Altram, dude. She met Steve Altram. She met Steve Altram 3 months before that, dude. I know she didn't know Steve Altram at all, dude. Steve got wrapped up in all that shit, dude.
I bet you can't say Dead Man Switch anymore on YouTube. You have to call it Unalive Man Switch.
Right, for Unalive Gay Switch.
Oh, okay. I see what it means.
Get Don't Hurt My Feelings Switch. Oh, God.
Yeah, and it was like her quote unquote Dead Man Switch, dude. It was a bunch of fucking schizo shit. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole mess of it.
It's probably fabricated.
I didn't like it real time.
There was a ton of weird stuff. All that. That's where Isaac Cappy falls off an overpass and gets ran over by a car, and possibly some famous actor was there goading him on, chasing him over the bridge. And He went on Alex Jones's show not long before the whole event and spilled his guts for 45 minutes, and they never heard of him again until he was being suicided or unalived. You remember this ridiculous scenario?
No,
Wait, who did what now? It wasn't me, dude. I didn't do it.
Isaac Cappy goes on Alex Jones's show and says,
I remember that, dude. I was sitting on my uncle's front porch in Logan, West Virginia, dude, listening to that for sure.
They're hanging out. The Hollywood celebrities are getting together. What's going on? And it wasn't just a few months after that, because you can't let that, you don't want to wait if you're going to do something like that. Isaac Caps, he jumps off an overpass in New Mexico outside of, according to Tracy Twyman, there's some weird motor home, some weird trailer park.
Oh, the whole thing was weird, dude. According to the police report, there was an earlier 911 call. He screamed from the nearby hotel the day prior. There seemed to be a third party in the room, even though he claimed on camera there wasn't. Dude, the whole thing, there was, and according to the police report, there was two young teenagers allegedly trying to stop him from jumping over, when other eyewitnesses claimed those two teenagers were throwing him over the bridge.
And somehow the one big actor, the biggest actor of all time, Tom Hanks, was somehow in the background somewhere causing him to do this. It's like, do you remember this? Tom Hanks is involved in this, accusations.
No, I remember that. And they did release body camera footage, and it was real shitty body camera footage. I believe it was actually a set of stills that was compiled together to claim it was a video.
I'm just saying, stuff that was being reported at the time when you were looking at alternative news. These are probably dry runs for what we're going through right now.
Well, I mean, actors are going to, I look at it like this, actors are going to act, you know what I mean?
And Isaac Cappy definitely was like an actor, like a B-rate secondhand.
For sure, dude. For sure.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's something to that campground. Those fucking guys that own that campground, the gay couple that own that campground.
Yeah.
I have no doubt they showed. I'm just responding to Gerald Hall, the driver's license. No, I know, but there's a lot more details that seem extremely suspect around a lot of that reports, the conflicting reports too there. But
Tracy Twyman got a hold of the FBI twice. She was trying to tell him about the child pedophile ring operating out of the campgrounds.
She told
me. They told her, "You're out of your mind," or whatever they
did. They wouldn't even let her. She went to Portland in May of 2019. Because I was like, well, I don't want to talk about these things. You take that to the FBI lady. Won't you let me know what happens when you do that? And they wouldn't even let her inside the gate to the building. There's like the external gate. You know what I mean? So, but nonetheless, like, I mean, I kind of expected that to be the response, but nonetheless, like, I don't want to. That's where take that to somewhere else, lady. I guess I got trade off me, Ricky Bobby.
I guess I got to bring up. Greg Carlwood had on. The guy from the Secret Sun that worked for Marvel.
Christopher Knowles.
Christopher Knowles, and he was like, I was working with Tracy right before this happened. I felt really bad. This is Greg Carlwood's recent show. I felt really bad that she got involved with some dark people, like Boyd Rice, which we talk about on your show.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ. Christopher Knowles, like, I felt really bad because I was going to be on her last show. We were communicating right there. We're going to do that day she died. I was going on her show or something. He says something like that.
I heard that. You mentioned that to me recently, I think, because I listened to that. Chris and Tracy were friends.
And he's like, I feel so sad because she was a brilliant mind. She was a brilliant mind. Her research. Because the research is pretty fantastical, JJ. If you listen to the stuff she would put out.
No disrespect to others. I've just been long confused of any of her brilliance, but please continue.
Well, what's his name? Mike Hideous over on the Michael Deacon program, the other co-host, the Confessed Satanist or whatever.
The Processing, sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's processed, but
Oh, he is. I looked at him. He does a lot of processing and stuff. A little neo-process business.
Yeah.
She was surrounded in it, dude. It wasn't just Boyd Rice. She was surrounded by characters. I don't know if she knew how dark they were. You know what I mean? But she was surrounded by characters.
So Christopher Knowles is like, so I had to get rid of everything on all my hard drives. All my hard drives, get rid of them.
I don't blame him, dude. I got rid of that shit years ago, dude. Talking about demons,
man, there's
shit,
probably
dude.
some demons.
I wanted nothing to do with it when I was calling the funeral home, dude. I wanted nothing to do with it at any point in time.
Oh, it sounds too creepy. I don't want to know either, JJ. If you found anything out, I don't even want to know, man. Don't even tell me no. I
never wanted to know the lady, dude. So anytime it's ever been brought to my, into my fucking, purview, I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with it. And then whenever I do get anything near with it, I'm just like, I lose sleep over, man.
So she did claim that what she found was there was something about demons were coming through the internet.
Yeah,
there was like something. I'm paraphrasing, and
I know, but think about it like this. Think about it as a narrative. You're trying to scare the general populace, trying to scare the shit out of people. It was a lot easier. It was a lot easier to maintain psychological operations in medieval times. But quite honestly, nothing's changed since medieval times. But think about it this way: you send a roving troop of actors into a medieval village because you want to pass a new law, or not? You want to make the populace okay with you instituting new draconian tyrannical measures of any whatever capacity. That's what we see today. We see the same thing today on a larger scale, but it's the same activity. It was just a lot easier to manage in medieval times when no one traveled. You sent the same roving team of actors to different towns to do these psychodramas.
Now you got to be more sophisticated and wide-ranging. You could have aliens, you could have demons, you could have a person that believes in elves.
Dude, you could have some blue avian motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, some blue avian motherfuckers. You want to cover every category, just in case. And the kind of technology these guys are developing, we were warned against this. When they have technology where they can make you see something, feel something from a mile away, they can see what you're doing, but you don't know that they're looking at you.
Blue avians are looking at me.
How are you going to get away from these guys now? That when they're going to use this psychological operations based upon your fears against you. That's kind of what this whole Hollywood thing's been doing, showing you over the years that your fears can be used against you. That was what they did. Yeah,
you have the right to have your fears used against you. That's correct.
That's what they did in 1984. They figured out what his fear was.
Todd, you have the right to be loud as fuck. You have the right to have your fucking fears used against you.
Yep. Yep.
These are your rights,
How
sir.
Nice is that?
I'm reading your rights.
JJ, sorry for stomping over you, sir.
No,
I respect everything you have to say. And I should be under JJ when it comes to the names on this show. Put JJ up there. JJ up there.
I was interrupting you, sir. Go ahead. I was being a jackass. It's part of my training as a blue avian, the disembodied blue avian spirit of David Wilcock.
And I'm kind of a jackass, kind of my training after I had about 12
seems like
Michelob.
Seems like the cults like to amplify insanity and fanaticism in the people.
Of course, I'm teasing.
Regardless of their membership.
I think anytime you can get a polarizing figure to get other folks to listen to, then you can mold them into whatever messages they want. Because Wilcock, he wasn't always about aliens all the time. You know what I mean? Blue avians were only later his thing.
And I think Clint's a genius here, putting David Wilcox on the title of every show from here on out, because as far as people's interest in, this is something that they're using. He used his own name. They're using his name.
Yeah, the David Wilcock News Network. I like it.
Yeah.
24/7 hours of Wilcock, dude.
Forever now. If you want news, what David Wilcock's thinking.
DWNN.
Yeah, what would David Wilcock do? That's my question.
WWD40.
Yeah, there you go. What would the Blue Avians want me to do right now? That's what everyone should be asking themselves
I'm
every day.
thinking
What
for a moment they're telling me we should all rise higher with our happy vibrations.
Todd's been compromised.
Blue Avian's got him. Get him out of here.
Well, Clint convinced me David Wilcock was right. So.
He's turning blue. Look at him.
Turning blue.
You can tell he's been infiltrated by the Blue Avian. It's all blue.
I believe I would die, but I believe I would die. I believe I would die, but I believe I would die. I'm blue and I believe. Does anybody notice that song? I'm blue and I believe I would die. That the way they spell Abadi Baba die is I believe I will die. That's the subliminal message there you're singing.
I'm not sure
and
if David
dancing
Wilcox believed that. I'm not sure if David Wilcox believed that at all.
He sounded really happy the day before he unalived himself by police officers.
And there's a lot of aspects of that. Very strange.
Hey everybody, we're gonna have fun today. And
I think that the occultists go crazy
when
the occultists, when they realize their whole world is a lie and they're just preaching insanity. It's like they go crazy and lose their shit.
I think that's very possible. Sure.
Yeah, it's
very possible. An explanation for what happened to Mr. David Wilcox.
Yeah.
But my question is, like, who are the people behind him, right? Because he's obviously someone's feeding him this shit. He's a true believer, dude. Look at him.
Yeah, they convinced him.
You can tell. That's
someone's feeding him some shit. He believed it.
Stars in his eyes.
There's been a lot of people that have been.
When you're getting a lot of money and people are coming to give you massages and you're buying $1 million house and suddenly you're driving a Ferrari and people are telling you, aliens, yeah. You're sitting there at home in your big giant mansion. Suddenly you have everything you ever wanted, and people are coming by going, "Let's make a movie. Let's build a spaceship."
Yeah.
This is a
he thought he was Big Biscuits, dude. He thought he was Big Biscuits.
Yeah. I'd say, who was around him the day that he died, like the day before he died?
What's the name of that company again?
Yeah, he had interactions with folks. I don't recall off the top of my brain hole, but he definitely had interactions with folks. Now, his biographer, who seems to be a pseudonym, died like a week prior.
So his ghostwriter, that might have been a pseudonym, passed away.
No, it was the guy who wrote a book about him. It was like he had an official biographer. It's weird.
Every cult figure has to have one here.
Right, exactly right. You got your official dude.
Aleister Crowley had Israel Regardie, and
that's a good point. You're right. He did, didn't
he? Definitely.
This was his Israel Regardie then, and he died a week before Wilcock.
Yeah.
Eric Von Daniken died. Nick Pope died. A lot of UFO folks died this year.
Yeah.
13 scientists died within the last 2 or 3 years.
They're including Wilcock.
David Wilcox included.
Yeah. But Eric Von Daniken, that was to the Chariots of the Gods, right?
Definitely. Chariots of the Gods, Gold of the Gods.
He was financed by the Rockefellers. He had an office in Rockefeller Center next door to George Maxwell.
Makes sense. They made a movie called Chariots of the God. It played in theaters everywhere for children.
I remember that.
That's how he got on. That's who funded that shit. That was the Rockefellers who were funding that. That was what, 74, something like that.
Yep, fantastic movie. Showed you all this weird shit.
It presents some interesting thoughts, right? It's thought provoking, isn't it?
Definitely. You go, wow, yeah, people couldn't have done those. Why would they do that? That's my main thing. Why would they do that? Because some leader thinks, come on, get everyone to carry these stone blocks up.
Well, I think the best way to explain Ancient Aliens is it's a show dedicated to convince folks brown people didn't build anything.
Is that what they're doing?
Well, I mean, in some respects, right? I mean, there is that element to it, right?
I'm not sure. Did brown people build everything and we're just
I'm not saying everything. I said they can't build nothing. You know what I mean? There was no one in Egypt that built anything over there. And I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the accurate tale either.
I think the Mayans built it. Yeah. So as
some civilization built it that predated the civilizations that exist in these areas. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of it was intermingling with the natives, so to speak, right? So it's tough to call it a different civilization than other than a melding into that same one. But nonetheless,
looks like the whole world was covered in one big giant civilization that they're trying to mix up and confuse. Yeah, mix up and confuse, make it sound like separate developments here and there. And when you look deeper in there, they seem to use the same. Unless you're talking about the three stones over there, those 390-pound or ton stones. That's the one that doesn't quite fit into the model. Those giant stones.
So it says
on top of it's built by same block procedure.
That company, that Chris Beskar, the Stavati owner.
Yeah.
It says that he went 30 years with no prototype that could fly, and then in 1996, he won a NASA Tech Briefs contest for establishing reconnaissance systems for classified ISR work, and that's how he won it.
Total fiction, yeah.
Well, what if he's involved with something?
Yeah, man. What's he involved with? The Blue Avians?
Yakataka Mining Company?
Yakuba.
Because I tell you.
Yeah.
Sky Truck Inc.
Cthulhu sent you, huh? I knew it. I fucking knew it.
JJ, I sure appreciate you having us over on your program tonight.
Hey, man, I appreciate you joining me, dude.
And anybody that hasn't heard that show, go back and listen to JJ's Nothing But Trouble. We try.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit nothing but trouble, if you ask me.
I think that was kind of the theme of your show, was nothing but trouble.
It's the underlining unofficial plot line of the show, sure.
Pretty much. But
I love all your story of my life, dude. My middle name, my grandmother used to say, "What's your middle name? Trouble."
I've been following your travels through Montana, JJ. I saw that last video where you're going through Montana.
Did you watch Mission to Mexico Redich?
Yeah, awesome.
I have to check that out.
It's strange. I'll send you a link. It's a strange adventure. It's a road to high weirdness.
That is fun right there. Plus, you got the other JJ in the video in Utah. That's good stuff right there.
Well, whenever I leave here, sir, I'm going to go invade Kanab. If you want to go on a journey and invade Kanab with me.
I can't do Kanab because it's
Little
too
Hollywood,
far out.
You're banned from there.
If you pass through the Devil's Playground here, I'm always available. Hit me up.
What's the Devil's Playground? Where's that at?
Phoenix.
Oh, is that named as the Devil's Playgrounds?
No, but that's what I'm calling it.
I used to live over on McDowell Street, dude. No, is that the name of it? Yeah, McDowell Street.
Oh, that's a horrible street. Horrible.
I used to live over next to Pampano Park, military base over there in Tempe and Scottsdale.
Yeah. Nice.
That's where I was stationed. I was stationed over there.
We got Luke Air Force Base, a little ways over there.
I've been to Luke over there plenty of times. I was stationed in that command at the headquarters of that command, but when I lived in Phoenix, I've been there all the times for work. When I lived there, I was stationed over there at the state military headquarters reservation, Pampano Park.
Yeah, so you get down these parts as you're going to Mexico, stop in, brother.
We'll do, sir. We'll do. I'll let you know. I'm going to make it that way specifically.
And Clint, I always appreciate your show and your input, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess you're taking off?
Yeah, I'm going to take off. I got to get up at 4 in the morning.
The Blue Avians got you. I knew it.
The Blue Aliens got me. And look at the colors. The aliens are here.
Dude, send me a bucket of some Blue Avian chicken, dude. I want some fried Blue Avian chicken.
Make lots of great chicken. I'll be like Dan Aykroyd and Neighbors. I'll run over to Cane's Chicken and Diet Blue and then run back. Yes. Charge you guys $40 a bucket.
Next time you go to Cane's, ask them if they got any Blue Avians. They keep it fresh in the back.
All right, love you, gentlemen. Good evening, chat. Peace.
That's the secret menu at Cane's Chicken, dude. You got to ask in the back for the Blue Avian.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at this.
I don't even know how you introduce something such as this. The Blue Avian idea in general. Like I don't even know how you know what I mean. Like when you're coming up with ideas, like, all right, you think people are gonna find this ridiculous? Oh, what giant blue chickens? Yeah, they're into Big Bird. Okay, I guess. Well, they're into Big Bird, so that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely some weird. I'm gonna smoke another joint.
Smoke a joint if you got them. Smoke if you got them. I'm off of carbs and smoking right now, and my body's, I guess it's feeling all right, but it's, it's doing, when you don't have carbs and smoking for a while, dude, eat cigarettes or pot, your body's like, oh, what is this feeling? This kind of feels nice.
Yeah, I need to start. I got like an acre of shit. I got a machete down.
Dude, you got an acre of shit, dude? That's a lot of shit.
No, bunch of sumac and stuff.
Is that a
brush.
plant?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of. I gotta try to like grow some food this summer and fucking.
There you go. That's a good idea, dude.
Yeah.
I love every time I have a home, I have a garden. I've been quote unquote homeless for some time, but when I do have a home again, I'm gonna have a garden. I always grow my own vegetables.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll probably plant a bunch of stuff. So if I have extra, I'll let you know.
I'm gonna grow some bananas, dude. I want to grow a lot of bananas. I'm gonna start a banana plantation. And leprechauns, both. It's part banana, part leprechaun. The blue avian, no blue avians allowed.
My friends want me to start a possum thing. I forget what the hell they call it. Like, oh, you could have people drop possums off.
You mean a possum? You want to start a possum sanctuary, dude?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
There you go, dude. Nothing like a bunch of rodents running around your yard, right?
I don't have any ticks.
Do they eat ticks?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't realize that. I guess they're good for something.
Yeah, they're pretty strange creatures. You walk up on them, most of the time they just freeze, and then
fuck yeah, dude, they pronounce their name without the O, dude. They're super strange.
Well, sometimes they'll freeze so stiff you could like pick it up and it feels like it's been dead or something for a week, and it's like, but then other times they'll just sit there and hiss. They won't even. I don't know. There's an ornery possum around here. All he does is hiss at you, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. And eventually I just started feeding him. I'm like, fuck it.
Dude, I will punt a fucking possum, dude. I will punt that motherfucker, dude.
Well, I was pretty mad at when they ate some of the chickens, but
I kick all rodents that come. If it's coming near me, it's a rodent, dude. It is gonna get punted.
Oh,
I'm not trying to get bit, dude. I'm not trying to get no rabies, dude. I will punt that motherfucker. Rabies free since '93, here, friend.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
I punted a lot of fucking rodents.
Possums might be immune to rabies, I think.
I don't want to find out, dude. I don't want to be the first fellow like, oh, let me see this possum may or may not have rabies. Nope. Punch ya. See you later, possum.
Yeah, you definitely want to stay away from raccoons and all sorts of anything.
Anything with four legs that's rodent-wise, dude. Beavers, raccoons, groundhogs, fucking chupacabras, dude. I will punt all of these objects, dude, really far, dude. Really fucking far. I once saw a DC-sized, cat-sized sewer rat, dude. I must have kicked that motherfucker 2 blocks, dude. It went at least. I would have kicked a record field goal in most NFL fields. The way that motherfucker flew, dude. And I was like, holy shit! So I was like, I'm kind of impressed. I thought I held back a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, city rats. Fucking.
Oh, dude, DC rats. You're already in a fucking literal swamp. They get to be the size of fucking house cats. I had one of them crazy fuckers running at me. And I was like, nope, not today, fucker. Not getting rabies. And I said, see ya. Punted that son of a bitch. I'm telling you, dude, it was on M Street down in Georgetown by the water, dude. Or I'm sorry, not M Street, Water Street, right down by the water and the wharf. And it's not like a full block, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, dude, that motherfucker was flying, dude. I am not trying to get bit, dude. I've encountered some weird creatures overseas, dude. I'm not fucking around with these things, dude. They have weird rats in Korea, dude. Didn't care for them. Punted those motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, rats with weird faces or something.
Oh, dude, they're super creepy, dude. Camel spiders the size of a fucking tire, dude. No, pass, dude. Dubs, dude. I've literally lost count of the number of dubs I've sent flying. Easily 50, 60-yard kicks.
No the hell is a dub?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's these weird lizard creatures that live over in the Middle East. Fucking dubs, dude. They're everywhere too, dude. They're like the groundhogs of the Middle East. They're called Euromastics. But they're fucking, dude, check these motherfuckers out, dude. They get big, dude.
Well,
and they'll run at you, dude. And they do carry like weird reptile diseses. So yeah. I always punted these motherfuckers immediately, dude. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, my friend had a Gila monster. What was this? Oh wait, I gotta get rid of the other screen. My friend had a Gila monster.
Yeah, these look like a Gila monster, dude. Look at this fucking dub, dude. Fucking dub.
Yeah, that thing looks annoying.
Yeah, dude. I think they call them dubs because they make that's the kind of noise they make when you run them over with a Humvee. Dub. But they're little bastards, dude. They'll run at you, dude. African spine-tail lizard. I will punt. Looking at this thing just gets me fired up to punt this motherfucker. Dude. I'll punt this motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, they probably taste real metallic.
Don't care. I won't ever eat it, dude. I'll kick that thing, dude. Kick it real far.
Yeah, I think I'd rather eat a camel or something.
They come at you, dude, real hard and real fast, dude, out of nowhere, dude. And sometimes they're aggressive. I mean, I've never been bitten by one, but they do have some sort of they do carry diseases. I do recall that aspect of it.
Oh yeah. Those things. Some of them carry some kind of bacteria in their bottom jaw.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, some bacterial shit, dude. I don't give a shit. I will punt that motherfucker, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they do eat it over there. The Bedouin folks do, the hobos.
Yeah, they probably taste real metallic, like rattlesnake.
Yeah, I don't care, dude. I'm out of here, dude. I'll punt that thing. Snakes, on the other hand, I'm not punting the snake. I'm running the other way, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with a snake. They got these funny snakes around here called hognose snakes. Like fucking.
I don't think I've ever encountered a hognose snake. What's that do?
They swell up like a cobra.
Oh, fuck that thing, dude.
They're not poisonous. You can just run up
and grab them. Shit, dude. Whenever I'm out like on a hiking trail, if I have a walking stick, if I encounter a snake near my house, I have a shovel. I'm immediately murking that son of a bitch. I've lopped the heads off of way too many snakes with a fucking shovel. I am not a fan of snakes, dude. I can't stand them.
Oh yeah, snakes.
Won't do it, dude. Won't do it.
Yeah, we had a rattlesnake once in the basement. Freaking.
I'd lop its head off, dude. Just get it out of here, dude. Get it right the fuck. You get one swift swing of that shovel, dude. Lop that motherfucker right off, dude.
Oh yeah.
Quick for everybody.
Once when I was getting off the school bus, when I was I think it was like 9th grade or something. I used to have to walk like a half mile from the corner or something.
You gotta watch out, dude. Them blue avians, you're lucky the blue avians didn't get you.
Well, there's blue racer snakes that were like.
Oh, there you go. That's the cousins of the blue avians right there.
It was like 6 feet long or something. It was the biggest blue racer snake I've ever seen in my life, and it was following me. And then when I'd turn around, it would stop, and I couldn't see it. And then I'd start walking and start following me again. And then I look back, and then I just bolt it because I see the fucking giant snake. And it fucking
yeah, dude! I fucking hate snakes, dude. I'm on patrol we're getting ready to assault another squad. I'm doing war games down in the fucking bayou or whatever the fuck that place is, Eglin Air Force Base. And so we're getting ready to assault another squad playing our war games. I'm laying in the fucking brush, dude. And I got a big, literally, dude, like a 3 or 4 foot long fucking one of them big ass yellow snakes. I'm like, fuck this thing, dude. I didn't want to make a lot of noise and racket, give up our position. So I took my M16, dude, and I fucking hooked that son of a bitch, and I flung it at the opponents, and that was our fucking rallying cry. We assaulted at that point. No other choice when there's a giant yellow snake flying at your opponent. Everyone's going to start running. I was trying to keep it quiet, but it just wasn't happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and my friends played a lot of paintball. That was always fun.
Oh, dude. I don't know whose idea it was to have folks train in the middle of the fucking bayou for fucking to go to war in the Middle East, but the snake game is neither environment's great, but the ones they got down there in Florida, dude, them snakes are retarded, dude.
Oh yeah, my grandma used to live down there. It seems like they'd want you to go to the desert to train that. It's humid.
Well, yeah. Whenever I got in charge, I moved the operations center to El Paso, Texas. But that was I went to that training. I mean, it was one of my deployments, probably 2002, maybe something like that. I went down there.
Oh wow. Yeah, when I used to play paintball,
Huge yellow snake, dude. I don't know if it's poisonous or not. I don't get into these particulars. If I see a creature that may or may not hurt me or fucking do, I'm killing it, dude. I'm launching it, killing it, dude. Getting it the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she can be dangerous. Fucking I know this,
dude. I was fishing in Vermont one time, ran to a bear, dude. Literally just put my fish. I had like 6 rookie trout on a stick that I had collected them on a stick. I put the stick down, dude. I started slowly walking backwards, saying, "Oh, you can have my fish there, bear." Because if I could punt the bear, I would have punted the bear, but that wasn't an option. So that was my next best option.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking yeah. Damn, I'm pretty stoned. When I used to play paintball, I'd always just lay under a tree, and then I would like not even move and just wait for people to come to me. It was really fun. I mean, in real life, I definitely probably would be fun.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Gerald. I got rolled by a bear, dude. You gotta watch out for them streets, dude. Them bears are tough.
Oh yeah, bears. I tell you that my dad.
That was the last day I didn't carry my pistol in the woods, man, and it's been a couple decades.
Well, even then, my dad said that he lived in was it Wyoming? I think he said it's funny because he moved out of Wyoming because it was too woke, but then he turned into a leftist when he moved back. But like,
are they gonna tell me the MS-13 fucking converted all the bear population?
No. Well, my dad said his neighbor had like a 9 or something, and that a bear charged his neighbor, and that the dude put like 3 clips of the bear, and that like the bear almost got him.
Fuck yeah, dude! And depending on what gauge what size of your ammunition, that thing can do much to a bear. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't, even if I had my gun, I still probably would have gave him a fish. I'm not trying to get into a shootout with a bear, dude. It's probably not going to do shit to him. They're just going to piss him off and eat me.
Yeah, just throw food at him.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, I've encountered all sorts of creatures. The one thing I fear in the woods the most is the big cats. Those are the ones I fear in the woods the most.
I've seen the tracks around here.
Fuck yeah, dude. There's a growing population because these stupid lefty motherfuckers won't let people kill them.
Yeah,
they don't realize, you can't kill it. It's so cute. It's a cat. Fuck you, asshole. That thing will eat you. There's a reason why children in India are born into villages with the knowledge already imprinted in their brain holes, to eat shit and also to be afraid of tigers.
Yeah,
because tigers have been eating their people over there for generations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those.
Carol Hall knows what I'm talking about, dude. One of the big cats got a lady in Boulder, dude. The big cats don't fuck around. They are very predatory creatures that stalk people, dude, and they do it in silence to the last moment. Yep, there you go. You see, Gerald knows what I'm talking. You don't even see or hear him, dude. That's what I'm saying. Those are the things I'm scared of the most in the fucking in the woods.
Oh yeah,
I've seen a big cat, dude. When I was a teenager in Vermont in the woods up there, they try to tell me they call them catamounts. Same difference. Cougars, bobcats. It's the same fucking creature, dude. People just call it different things. Panther, Florida panthers.
Yeah.
I saw it, dude. My grandmother's like, no, those have been extinct for some time. I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude. I was out in the woods today and I fucking saw a fucking big cat. They're back there now. They recognize them, but in the 90s, they were like, folks didn't want to recognize it, but it's all these conservative eco-terrorists that try to say they're saving things. No, you're letting a giant predatory population of big cats fucking exist around here. Yeah, they're worse than the blue avians, dude. The big cats.
Yeah, there's stuff's definitely gotten a lot different than what it used to be like in the 90s. Freaking
Well, Ted Turner and all those assholes started these conservation programs in the 70s. By the time the 90s rolling around, nature has its way, dude. The big cats are coming back.
Yeah, it was back like 15 years ago or something. I was like, I had some planes out in the woods or something that they were on some like railroad tracks or something that like I was going to walk to them and see if it actually grew anything, which it didn't. But like the whole time I'm going through the woods, me and a couple friends, you could hear something, and then you could hear it step on a stick. I think it was. We didn't see it, but I know that I've seen footprints around here. Well, this wasn't around here, but
that's the problem, dude. It's stalking you. You're not going to see it. You know what I mean? It's like them fucking raptors from Jurassic Park, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of big birds, too.
Big birds, big bears, big birds, big cats. Now, I saw a big creature one time about an hour east of San Antonio, Texas. This would have been circa October of 2020. Maybe September of 2020. Fall of 2020. And I was having a campfire, dude. I was staying out at this ranch in East Texas, like an Airbnb and an RV or whatever, doing some traveling and whatnot back towards Ohio, Bills. And I'm staying at this ranch, dude, and fucking like I said, just stopped over, dude. I was staying 2 nights, and fucking cooking my meal out on the campfire like 1 a.m, and there was no moon that night, and my campfire went out, and all of a sudden the Texas brush that's about 5 feet away from my campfire, and I'm about half a mile from anyone on this ranch. The owners of the ranch. They live there, but like down the road on the way in kind of deal, right? And fucking the brush is like 6 or 7 feet tall, dude. And I have the light of my phone. That's it, because I have a flashlight. I'm using over by the fucking the camper, and the brush just starts shaking violently. It's a quiet night, dude. Everything's super quiet and super dark because there's no moon. But I have my campfire going until I was down to coals because I was cooking, right? So I didn't have a lot of light, which I was fine with, until the brush about 5 feet away from me started shaking violently. And so I had my pistol on me, but I quickly retreated back to the camper where I had my M4, my M4 pistol. My pistol, it's legally a pistol, but it's an M4. And carbine rifle. And I immediately grabbed that and flicked the light on for the external light of the RV, right? And the entire brush is shaking violently, dude. This is like 6.5, 7 foot tall, thick Texas brush.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's on the other side of that to be shaking it all the way at the top, too. You know what I mean? It wasn't just shaking at the bottom; it was shaking all the way at the top, and about a 6 foot wide and almost 7 foot tall or so, region. That's the region of the shaking of the brush line, right? And I knew it was on the other side of that brush line. I had hiked over there earlier that day. There's a trailer over there, right? And it's only the brush line was only about, it wasn't that thick, right? It's probably only about 4 feet thick to the other side, right? Whatever's doing is shaking all that brush. To this day, I have no idea. The best thing I can come up with so I immediately just told her to get the fuck out of there. Dude. I was getting ready to start just shooting indiscriminately into the brush, quite honestly, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
But, you ever seen the film Golden Child? Eddie Murphy rips down that screen. There's a lady with the giant dragon lady. Dude, it had to be like dragon lady shit. I have no idea what's the size of that would be shaking that amount of brush.
One time I was we always do Michigan. It was like right in the center of Michigan. I don't know where it was. In the middle of some big nature preserve woods type thing or something.
Bigfoot land, Michigan, sure.
Yeah,
it's like Dogman territory, probably, right?
Yeah, well, I was like at least 5 miles in the woods, and that somebody was really good at going in the woods and not getting lost. But I was walking. This is before I smoked weed, and then I'm just walking through the woods.
Oh, so this is before you were born? I figured you were just born smoking weed.
I didn't smoke weed till 9th grade, but
came out the womb with this blunt. That's what I'm talking about.
Some of my friends smoked in 5th grade. I'm like, man, but yeah, I'm walking in the woods. It's like there's like a lake. There's a bunch of pine trees, and then it turned into a bunch of maples or something. And then I step in this giant pile of shit in the middle of the woods, and I've seen every pile of shit that's ever. I've seen cow shit, horse shit. We used to have cows. My cousin had horses.
Blue avian shit. Dude, blue avians don't shit in the physical world. I'm not sure if you knew that.
Well, it's like
a shit fifth dimensionally.
It was like a dinner. It was like 3 dinner plates stacked up high. That much shit, and it was like, and I'm scraping off my shoe, and the shit was like, uh, I don't know. The shit smelled bad, but like I'm
The shit
scraping off my
smelled like
shoe.
shit.
I'm leaning against this tree and I'm scraping off the shoe. All around me, it's just like real small maples and stuff. There's not much. There's not a lot of brush and stuff going on, but like, and then I smell this smell. It smelled like fucking, and it wasn't the shit. It smelled like the dirtiest wet fur anyone's ever smelled, and it was like, and then I looked up, and that fucking when I looked up towards the smell, there was something that was as tall as me or taller, and it was fucking like, and it wasn't a bear. I don't know what it was, but it was like, it smelled so bad, and fucking, I just fucking was like, ran as fast as I could for like 5 miles.
Perhaps it was, dude. Perhaps you encountered a chupacabra.
I don't know what it was, but it was fucking spooky. It was. I called the DNR as soon as I got home, and he's like, "Oh, that was a black bear." It's like, I know what a black bear looks like. I've seen them up north, you know.
Sure.
Like, I have no idea what it was. It was. I didn't. I don't know. I just know it smelled really bad, and fucking, because I got a really good keen sense of smell.
I mean, I'm open to there being weird creatures living in the woods, dude. I've seen some weird shit. I've smelled some weird shit. I've heard some weird shit, dude. But like, I don't know. I'm also inclined to believe the woods is, in a sense, alive and playing and fucking around with us in a trickster type capacity.
Well, yeah, it's interesting.
Well, what's not alive in the woods, dude? Then plants are alive. Everything in there is alive, dude. There's elements of what we call life in everything you're going to encounter in the woods. So why can't those things also be fucking with you?
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of weird stuff in the woods.
Like, I've seen a ton of weird shit, dude. I've spent most of my life in the woods, dude. I've seen a lot of weird shit in the woods, and a lot of different, not just like one area, like everywhere. You know, it seems to be an element of in the woods. You're going to encounter some weird shit. Is what I'm saying, right?
You ever seen any weird glowing lights by a swamp?
Fuck yeah, dude.
No, I didn't know what that was. When me and my friend seen it, it was like, we were like, what the fuck is that? We waited by the only spot you could walk out of that woods, and like nobody came out, and we waited for like an hour or so, and like it was way past dark. Fucking, there's some kind of supernatural lights that were bouncing. Then I went there the next day, and I checked the spot where there would have been footprints. There was no footprints, and there was soft clay. There would have definitely been footprints. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've run into people in the woods, like on trails and shit, where I see someone else on the trail. Like, oh, did you ever talk to that last person? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, well, they got to be there. You know, it's 300 meters to the parking lot or something like that. You know, hiking. This is on Camel's Hump Mountain in Huntington, Vermont. And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, I just talked to an old lady, dude. She couldn't have gone that far. Like, I've had situations like that where I've talked to like people on the trail that don't exist, apparently. You know what I mean?
That's spooky.
Yeah, because it's common. Like up there, at least it's very, very friendly culture. You wave at everybody on these gravel roads and whatnot, and you know, there's a lot of tourists that come in there because of the mountain and whatnot. And the Appalachian Trail comes the long trail, which is off of the Appalachian Trail, comes through there. But you know, you talk to everybody, dude, and like, you know, this one specific time that this old lady could not have gotten between where we were in the parking lot and avoided anybody. There's no offshoots of trails or nothing. She just didn't exist, apparently, according to folks to talk to. I'm like, that's weird. I just talked to her for like 10 minutes. It's fucking bizarre, dude.
Yeah, it's just like the Resurrection Mary story on Archer Ave in Chicago. The taxi driver picks up a lady. He drives.
The lady in white.
Yeah, and then sometimes the lady gets out and disappears. Sometimes the lady disappears before they get to the address.
That there's folklore tales of that. I know the one you're talking about out of Chicago. There's folklore tales of that in a lot of places. It's not. It doesn't seem to be just exclusive to that one. That seems to be some like a repeating activity folks have experienced in multiple locations. And I'm willing to believe that folks are experiencing some of these things. I'm also willing to believe some of these folks are making some of that shit up.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of them are making up because the ghost experience that I had was definitely nothing like anything I mean, it was all simple stuff. I mean, me and my friends. I'd tell you the story about the footsteps when I was at my friend's. We go to my friend's house. He lived. What the fuck is my camera working? He lived at the
Right,
only.
Blue Avian's got you, dude.
he lived at the only known slave house or whatever that I know of in Michigan, where in the 1800s they had slaves there or something. It was like it was like five houses that were on the same property, but like most of them were really small and run down. And the one house he was renting the house, but like and nobody else was renting the other houses, and they were all just run down, like nobody could live there, but like so yeah, it was like 2003, and I was in between jobs or something. I had some speakers. I was going to trade my friends for weed, and then so I asked him, he's like, yeah, bring him over.
That's a solid 2003 era move, dude. You got some excess speakers. You need some pod. There's a market for that in 2003. I don't know if there's a market for that in 2026, but 03 there was definitely a market for that kind of activity.
Yeah, but like we get there, we spark up some weed. The dude at the time, this is when weed was illegal in Michigan, and like the dude was selling weed, so like but I trade him the speakers for the weed, and then we're lighting up a huge. I usually smoke a huge ass joint with everybody, but like then so we're smoking a joint. A car pulls in the driveway, but it's like snowing out, but it's like it's barely snowing, but you can still see where the tire tracks and stuff are. You can see that only one car drove through, but like some car pulls up, and then it pulls in the driveway, and then all it does is turn around and goes back the other way. But right when it turned in the driveway, something upstairs stomped on the floor 3 times as loud as it could, and fucking as soon as I heard the stomp, I was like, dude, that's fucking. There's 5-0, like, but it wasn't. It was just some car turning around, and I was warning my friend because he sold weed or whatever. But like, then so the car drives away, and we're sitting there, and we're like, me and my other friend were like asking the dude, we're like, why did somebody upstairs give us like some kind of false alarm that somebody was pulling in, and it was like, and then my friend, he's like, oh, there's nobody up there. And we're all like, oh, well, we just heard him,
For sure, dude.
He's like, nobody's up there. We were like, bullshit. You can hear him pacing right now. Like, they were pacing back and forth. And
I know what you mean. I've had experiences like that. I have one that still sticks in my brain hole, dude. Because I just moved to Cincinnati. I later found out the home we moved on was built on a mound. But I was home sick from school. I was in 5th grade. And my grandmother was vacuuming downstairs. I could hear her vacuuming. It's 2-floor home. I was upstairs on my Commodore 64 playing some games, loading up some games, right? And that becomes imperative because, in the Commodore 64, it'd be loading up some games that come to a black screen for a couple minutes while it's loading some shit up, right? So it's on a black screen for like whatever, a minute or whatever it's got to do to load up the next stage of that game or whatever. And I see a reflection in the black screen of my monitor, dude. Of an arm. I had the door halfway, I didn't have it closed because we weren't allowed to close doors in my home growing up. It's a different story altogether, dude. So I had it pulled closed to a crack, not a tight crack, but a crack. Because I didn't want to hear all the vacuuming going on in the house, right? I had heard the vacuuming upstairs. I heard her. She was downstairs in the living room. I could hear where she was, right? I knew she was no longer upstairs, but when she started vacuuming, she had been upstairs. I didn't want to hear all that shit when I was playing my Commodore 64. Like I said, I was already home sick from school that day. And I was like legit sick, like whatever, flu or whatever, you know what I mean? But like, I didn't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
So, but when the screen's black, dude, I see an arm slide in the crack of the door. And I know it flipped off the fucking switch because that switch over there by the door,
whoa,
the shit was all wired, all fucked up in my bedroom. The switch by the door controlled all of the outlets in the room, right? Including the one I had my fucking computer hooked up to, right? So it went dead, dude. But I saw during the black screen in between loading games, I saw an arm, dude, a full blown from. I'm getting goosebumps even fucking talking about it, dude. A full blown arm front in the reflection of the screen from elbow to hand, dude. Come in and flick that light switch off, which is about a foot in from the door, right? It wasn't like immediately. It was about a foot in from the door. On you come into the door opened outward or into the room, and the switch is on the inner wall right there, about a foot in. So you could just kind of reach your arm in there and flick it off, dude. Well, that's what I saw in my fucking reflection, and my game went off. So I'm 10 years old at the time, dude. I immediately go sprinting downstairs because I don't know what's going on, dude, but I know this shit ain't right, you know. I know what I saw.
Yeah.
I know, but I'd also, I already know it can't be my grandmother, dude. She's like fucking 65 or at the time, you know what I mean? Or 70, right? She ain't moving. 5'1", 70 years old. She ain't moving that quick. Plus, I can hear her vacuuming still as I'm sprinting down the stairs to find her in the living room around the corner down the stairs, vacuuming, looking at me like I'm a fucking idiot. She's like, "What's wrong with you? What, you look like you seen a ghost?" I said, "Yeah, I did, Grandma." Because I know you're down here, but someone just flicked off my. She's like, "Get out of here, child! You're just making stuff stories." And I was like, "That's what happened." She didn't believe it for a second, though, dude.
Was the arm a shadow arm?
Yeah, I mean, it was because that's all I could see in the reflection. Yeah, just a dark arm, but you could see the actual. You could see from like the length of the arm, like you know what I mean, like the elbow to the hand, right? But yeah, it was just dark. Yeah, it was like it didn't look human. It looked like a dark, like a shadow arm. Sure.
Yeah. One time I was rolling a joint and I tripped really hard the day before. It was like 2008 or something, and I seen something peek out behind my tapestry on my wall, and then I just kind of looked back down because like, oh, I'm probably just still tripping or something, and then my friend immediately points to it, and he didn't notice me look up or anything. He claimed that he seen a shadow person peek out of the thing, and I was like, I just didn't say anything because I want to hear what he said, you know. And then
yeah, dude.
Everybody that was smoking weed there, they were all making fun of him, and then like 5 minutes later, I admitted that I seen the shadow thing too. I just wanted to see what.
Oh, dude, that house. Dude, we lived in that house for like 7 years. Or I did it from like till I joined the Air Force. That house is haunted as fuck, dude. When I was like 12, I moved to the other end of the hallway, to the other room, the other end of the hallway. I shared with my brother for a while at that point in time, and my older brother moved to the room I was in. There was a lot of room shifting going on to various ages with my brothers there, but I moved down to the other end, and I told my younger brother, I said, "Look, dude, that room. I told you that room down there is haunted." He goes, "This room's probably haunted too." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude! Why don't you tell me that before I moved in here?" I'm not leaving one haunted room for another haunted. You know, like my brother traded me the room, like under pretenses it wasn't haunted. The other one, the other brother tells me it's haunted. I'm like, "You assholes, you got me."
I'd just sleep in the living room.
Oh, dude, there was a closet in that room, dude. That just the door, you could never keep the door closed to the closet. And when I say closed, like it wouldn't just open a little bit, like something would you could be sitting in the room and something would that door would open all the way, dude. Something would open that door all the way. Like you could not keep that door closed.
Yeah.
Like weird. I think the most I ever seen that door closed was like 3 hours, dude. Ever. Because for a while, I went through various stages of dealing with it, like, oh, fuck that. And I closed it immediately as soon as I see it opening, to the ghost is here, ha ha ha. And it's there's various stages you have to go through with dealing with that kind of activity. But yeah, dude, that door would never stay fucking closed, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one time I was visiting my friend, the Tang Soo Do expert or whatever. He's black belt Tang Soo Do.
Sounds like a delicious. I think I had that at the Chinese place recently.
He's a funny character. We used to call him White Tyson. But like, because he looked like Mike Tyson, but he was white.
Right.
But like, I go over there to smoke a joint with him, and like this is like 2002, I think, and like, he was living in some kind of shitty like some kind of one room rental hotel type thing or something. Like it was like outside of a town. There wasn't really a lot of stuff there. He was the only one renting a room out of the whole building, basically. And like
sounds haunted already, dude.
I go in there and fucking there's like a foot of snow on the ground. Somehow my car was trudging through it though, but like fucking there's no footprints or anything. All clean, fresh fallen snow. You know, like all over, and that I go inside, and that fucking we're smoking a joint, standing by his window, and there's you could see right out the window, and fucking like something was like something knocked on the window 3 times, like as hard as you could knock on a window without breaking it, and like we instantly ran outside, looked on the ground, there was no footprints, looked on the ceiling, there was no footprints, or on the roof, fucking went around the whole building in a fucking, just like when we heard the footsteps at my other friend's house. It's like we went upstairs, we guarded the exits, there was nobody up there, we go back down, and then there's footsteps, and it's like, and like that shit's fucking spooky.
Yeah, dude. I was stalked by a creature one whole summer, dude, in Vermont, dude. So my grandma, when I was like 13, my grandma was like, "You can't." She was my I mean, so I came to find out much later in life, my adopted grandmother. I get it. She's like, "You can't sleep in the house anymore." She just couldn't take me, dude. It's too much for her. You know, I was just being I'm a rowdy kid and whatnot. So my grandfather built me a shed in the backyard, right? So this is in the mountains of Vermont and shit, you know. And you know, she builds me a bunkhouse. I mean, it's a legit bunkhouse. It was actually pretty awesome. My grandfather and I were super tight, but his wife was not a big fan. But yeah, and he builds me this bunkhouse. So dude, it's awesome, dude. I'm out there rocking out the bunkhouse for first couple weeks of that summer, and then all of a sudden every night, dude, something starts coming out and beating and scratching on the side of the fucking bunkhouse and shit, dude. And I'm like 13, I'm like an actual gun, so I've equipped myself with the various BB guns that I owned at the time, right? But I still wasn't going outside after the shit, dude. You know what I mean? And then so like I start telling folks inside the house, I'm like, yeah, my brothers and other adults and shit and like that, my grandfolks. And he's like, yeah, it's probably, my grandfather's like, it's probably a blackberry. He's like, you got food in there? I'm like, well, of course I have food in there. He's like, well, don't take any snacks out there tonight, and then and maybe they won't come bother you. Sure as shit, dude. So I don't do that, and whatever it is, it starts rattling the door handle and shit, dude. Not just beating on the side. It's great. Yeah, dude. And there's 2 windows to the thing. Like one's kind of on top and one's on the side, right? So I had a lot of blind spots to the whole shed, right? I had like a window above my bunk, right? Because I had him build me a bunk so I could sleep on the second top bunk, right? So I had like a moonlight window type of deal for some air and shit. Then I had like another window by the door, but that was it's like an 8x12 bunkhouse, dude. It wasn't a big thing, you know what I mean? Like a little with a bunk and a table and a chair type of deal, right?
Yeah.
2 bunks, really. It was 2 bunks, but so I eventually had my brother, no one believes me these things. I had my younger brother come out there, and it started with him. I held the whole thing filled up with cousins and whatnot. Because, dude, something was stalking me that summer, dude. And I didn't know, and no one wanted to believe me until my other cousins and my brother and shit, they all fucking experienced the same shit out there, dude.
Oh, yeah. There's weird shit outside.
Yeah, this was like 200 meters into the woods, dude. So this is a mountain town in Vermont, middle of fucking the Green Mountains. And then it's about 100 meters in the woods. You could see it from the back door. Because I think you initially wanted to build it 200 meters from the door. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't want to go that deep in the woods at night. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Wow. I was a Boy Scout and everything, but I wasn't trying to do that, dude.
Seen a lot of spooky surveillance footage on YouTube.
Oh, dude, I'm convinced this was some sort of creature. This was no bear, dude. We stopped having food and there was nothing to attract the bear. I'm convinced it was like, at the time, I was convinced it was some sort of werewolf, dude.
Whoa.
No, dude, because the tracks, back to that point, because the tracks didn't make any sense, dude. They weren't bear tracks. We couldn't figure it out, dude. They weren't bear tracks.
They look like?
They looked like fucking werewolf tracks, dude. Like a big fucking dog.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've only seen one video of a Michigan werewolf that I thought was authentic, where it was like somebody had this window that was like 12 feet up, and that it was in their kitchen, and they had a security footage in their kitchen at the window, and that I can't remember if they had a different angle, but it was like something that was really tall that had like a elongated head or something, like looked through the window, and it was like fucking really creepy.
Well, I don't even know if these things are physical in a physical sense, but I do know something was stalking me that summer, dude. And over about a 10-week period that summer, it took me that many months. Eventually, dude, I was armed to the tits, dude. The first couple nights you don't sleep, right? You know what I mean? Then the next couple nights I'm like, I got, dude, if that thing busted that door, at least I'm getting a fight in here, dude. I got pellet guns, dude. I got my fucking BB gun rifle, my pistol, my CO2 pistol one, dude. You know, I had some nice turd cutter pellets, dude. I was ready to fuck shit up, dude. But you know, I don't mean whatever damage that's gonna do, whatever. I'm just saying, like, you know, I went through a couple sleepless nights before I got to the point where I was just sleeping through it and shit. But I'd wake up if I heard a noise or some shit. Because again, dude, it's every night, dude. It was every night, dude. Every fucking night.
Was there a lock on the door?
Oh yeah, dude. I put a deadbolt. I put an extra lock on the door.
Whoa.
I put another deadbolt on the inside of it, dude. I just had a regular door handle on it. Yeah, dude, my grandfather didn't even put a lock on it initially because you didn't lock he wasn't even locking his house at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some spooky shit going on. Never tell you that story about the guy that chased me with the shovel?
No.
I was 15. It's right when I first started smoking weed. It was like the late 90s. And that fucking, I wasn't stoned because I walked like 15 miles. But like, I had to walk 15 miles to get home. But like, I was walking on this road. And then it's interesting because at the end of the driveway, the dude had two wooden owls. But like, I mean, it's not relevant, but it is kind of creepy. But like, I didn't know that at the time though. I found that out later when I walked by or drove by again. But like, I was walking. It was middle of the night. There was like, I think it was like a quarter moon or something. But like, there's a huge valley with trees, and I'm walking in this valley, and fucking and there was like a 10-foot drop off on the ditch, and it was all like real black slick dirt, and fucking and at the bottom was like a dried up swamp that was real, but like I heard somebody digging down there, and I'm walking by, and the dude's like 50 yards from me or something. He's digging, and I'm like, just like laughing because I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody's digging. It's middle. They don't even have a flashlight, you know. And fucking
Did he say large Marge sent me?
well then the dude started running right at me, and like I was so like, I don't know, I was just kind of out of it, and like I thought it was a deer running up at me or something, because sometimes deer would run up at you. And like, because I've had that happen before on my bike.
Dude. Deer, like, dubs, dude. He's punting motherfuckers.
The dude, he fucking ran up to me, and he fucking swung the shovel at my face as fast as he could, and like fucking, and I felt it, and then I was like, whoa, and then he swung it again, and then I really felt it. It didn't hit me, but like, and then I just was like, fucking bolted it out, fucking ran as quick as I could, fucking like. Then when I got to the top of the hill, I could see the dude coming back, and fucking like he was still like, but I had like another mile to run home basically, and fucking like it was out in the middle of nowhere, all these farm fields and shit. I couldn't see the dude. I like, because once I bolted it when I was at the top of the hill, I didn't see him again, but I was still so freaked out that I was like worried that he was like going through the field or something.
He like, probably turned into a blue avian and flew away, dude.
Well, I ended up like going home and double drop kicking the fucking front door, trying to, because it was locked. Yeah. And then my stepdad came down, and I fucking was like, get the fuck out of the way, and fucking went straight for the phone and called 911. And basically they sent two sheriffs, and the sheriff's detectives, they didn't believe what I was saying. And they're like, oh, let's see this supposed hole, you know, and fucking, and I'm like, well, let's go.
Blue avian you've been talking about, kid.
Well, then I took them to the spot. They shined the lights on the hole, and the hole was like 3 foot wide and deep, and it was like, it looked like a fucking deep hole.
And they were like, that's no hole, that's a blue avian.
Well, then I kept telling them, like, I told you so. There's fucking hole, assholes. Well, I didn't say asshole, but
right.
No, I didn't swear, but yeah. So then they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna investigate this," and that you know, they said to call him back, and that I kept calling them and asking them, politely and stuff. Like
that's a common police tactic when they say they're going to investigate. That what they really mean is they're going to go jam each other's hands up each other's butts.
Yeah, that's just, they didn't even talk to the homeowner. And it's like when I was a kid, I was like, I
how
thought
could they do? They had their hand up each other's rectums when they supposed to call. They got they call right voice calling or something.
What I think happened though, I think I was walking and I inadvertently walked up on someone like burying a fucking dead body or something, and that like the dude that was fucking the murderer, fucking I think he tried to take me out, and then I don't know. It's like I don't.
I mean, it ain't out of the realm of possibilities, dude. That's for sure.
Well, it's fucked up because it's like there's a town kind of near there where people claim that the guy that ran the butcher shop was involved with some kind of weird occult shit or something, and the town was real spooky. It was like a really tiny town. They didn't even, they barely had like a grocery store. It was like a really
was
small.
Was it named Vulcanvania?
Well, it might as well have been. It was fucking.
Sounds very Vulcanvanian like, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
I've been in some weird small towns, dude. I got kidnapped by some police department in some weird small town in Alabama, but it's a horse of a different color, sir, and a topic for a different day. I'm about to get kidnapped by blue avians right now. I'm going to turn into a blue avian myself here at midnight here coming up. 12 p.m., 12 a.m., whatever a.m.s these are.
Oh, yeah. You about to pass out.
I'm fading here quick. I only got 24 minutes before I turn into a blue avian.
Well, it's cool hanging out.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the invite as always, sir. Good conversation, good film review. We'll see you next week. See you now, Lincoln Now. Right now, Lincoln Now. See you now.
Oh yeah, check out that Fargo. Oh, yeah, the Fargo TV show. Let's smoke one more cigarette. Yeah, I did invite some more people, but I don't get any word back. Yeah, all the ghost stories. There's a lot of ghost stories. Definitely interesting to discuss. I tell this ghost story every once in a while because it's pretty wild. Where this happened like 14 years ago, I think. It's like one of the last times I took psychedelics. That like me and my friends went for a walk and we were in the city and fucking we seen these 3 people that we thought they were people, but when we got closer, they looked like they were shadows, but they were people. And then they like their arms started elongating, and then they started crawling, and then they disappeared into nothing. It was fucking scariest shit I've ever seen. And that's why I don't like to trip. And then my friend seen it too. It was fucked up. But we were pretty much sober. It was that's spooky story. Technically, I've had the dude on here before that seen that with me, but I think I took that video off because I took all my older videos off. Oh, I forgot to send my daily invite to Roger Stone. Nah, why did I light up another cigarette? Cigarette tastes like shit. Yeah, I don't think anybody's awake. Well, maybe. Let's see. There's a fan of Dana, that Mortis dude. He might be awake. Let's see. What's the guy here? Try to wake everybody up for one more joint. I mean, I should be really busting out some data and stuff. I've been pretty slow in the research lately. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I put a thing out in the audience if anybody wants to come in. Yeah. If Harry wants to come in. I sense the force of the psychic. No. Let's see here. What was I gonna bring up? Another ghost story. I know I got another ghost story. Hold on. Let's see. Well, this one's not really a ghost story. It kind of is. I was in the woods, and it was like a real swampy woods. Not a lot of ground growth and stuff. It was really, really like a moist, dark woods, and I was building a tree fort or something, and like, I was way back out there, like 100 acres back. I don't know how much of a distance that is, but but like, I don't know. It seemed like the woods got really spooky. And I'd been in those woods like a million times at night, and like, because I never used to be, fearful of going in the woods at night, or anywheres. I mean, the city's fine. City's fine at night, but like, well, even I don't know. The city's not fine at night. The city can be crazy, but like, I mean, I'd rather walk around in the middle of the hood than walk around in certain areas of the woods at night. Uh, I mean, well, that's, I don't know. I mean, the woods, like, I don't know. You see a lot of like disturbances in the woods, which is like, because you can see where the big cats, they claw their fucking claws on the trees and stuff. You can see that. You can see where the elk or the deer do their thing. I don't know. It's like I know all the animals. I've always had the Audubon books and stuff, and like been into animals and shit, and like drawing them and stuff. But like when I encountered that weird thing in the woods that stunk real bad, it was I couldn't identify it. I just ran as fast as I could. It stunk bad. It was and its pile of shit was like in proportion to something that weighed like 400 pounds. I mean, I've never seen or smelled anything like it, and not since or before. And the makes you wonder. Because I've seen like stones and stuff that were moved in the middle of the woods. And I couldn't figure out how they got moved, and like, who would have moved them? Like, because I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, one of the stones I kept, a big square stone. It was like about this big. It was in the middle of the woods. I lugged it back. I got it around here somewhere. I think actually my computer's sitting on it. Yeah, I got my computer sitting on it. A big square stone. I mean, it was like, I mean, it could have been hikers, but we were way back. I didn't see any tracks anywhere. There's a lot of trees that were down. It seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like a weird part of the woods. It was like this weird open spot that was really sandy. I don't know. I don't think I got any. One time I was riding my bike and this deer ran out, and I was on this dirt road, and this deer was chasing me as quick as it could go, like fucking trying to ram its horns into my bike tire. It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Never thought deer could be dangerous. It was fucking crazy. No, I'm not sure what you're saying never happened, but it definitely happened. I don't confabulate stories. I mean, Yeah. Oh, wait, I already put a link out. I already smoked my whole cigarette. I need to quit smoking cigarettes. I'm trying to just drink water and stay away from foods with oxalates and be healthy and stuff, you know. It seems like that's what really is the meaning of life, I guess, is just to be cool with everyone, be healthy, tell ghost stories. There's this one book that had a ghost story about the Confederate or the Civil War. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I'm probably gonna pass out here soon too. I was on JJ's podcast earlier. We were talking about the movie. What was it? Fuck, my brain is not working here. I got way too stoned. Let's see here. Nothing But Trouble. That's what it was. Nothing But Trouble. It's pretty good movie. I like the movie. It was. You definitely got to see it if you have never seen it. It's pretty comical. I put it on during a card game before, and everybody got a good kick out of it. Yeah. Yeah, if you can find those BMW rims on that BMW, those things are worth a fortune because you can't find any record of those rims on that car. Those big fat faced rims. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I think the age of technology is definitely far beyond the capacity of what people think it is. I think that all these data centers are for monitoring who knows what. I mean, for all we know, there could be fucking radical Islam fucking terrorists all over the place. I mean, who knows? I mean, that could be part of the surveillance. That you know, when I seen those 9/11 documentaries, right after 9/11 and stuff, I thought that the Islams were innocent, and I thought there's no way that people would do such crazy shit. And then like I think it was like 2009 or something. My friend got out of from he was a medic, and he was like he was only in for 4 years, but like the medics probably see the worst shit, you know. But like his stories were all really horrible stories that I tried to put out of my mind, but I listened to his stories just to try to help him heal his pain, But like, but he said that he's seen radical Islams in the Middle East, do the things that everybody says they do and stuff, and that you know, and then I believe that there's a mind war going on, and the outskirts of the mind war of these radical Islams. I think it's connected to the Baha'ism, and that I think there's a legitimate reason why Dennis Cuddy brings up the Baha'u'llah leader in 1917, I think it was, talking about predicting World War One. Maybe it was 1912. I don't remember, but the but like and I do think that Baha'ism is connected with the Nazis, and that and I do think that how was I going with that? Well, I do think that it's not a coincidence that Brother 12 in the book Foundation Letters predicts the 1929 stock exchange, which happens on October 24th, Black Thursday, and coincidentally is United Nations Day, which United Nations loves Baha'ism. Baha'ism doesn't have anything to do with, well, it might have something to do with October 24th, but the whole solar Scorpio bullshit, the calendar wizardry, but that's a whole different story. These connections of this Baha'ism, and it's importing radical Islams all over the whole world into every country, and giving them diplomatic immunities, which citizens of the countries cannot, rights that the citizens cannot exercise are given to foreigners that are Islam. I believe that there's a reason why that this is all happening, and it's because of this plan that the Brother 12 speaks of in his book, which seems to predict World War II, and that also predicts the Aquarius movement of the 70s, and that furthermore, Alice Bailey predicts the completion of the work in 2025. But I don't believe that the work of their luminous conspiracy has been completed, because I think that that we've, that the game has changed, because people, everybody hates Trump so much, but he's from New York, he's old money, and that he's not European money. That's what's important. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. It's like, I mean, there's this, they want, the New World Order wants America to be not a sovereign nation. They want us to be a socialist, and that fucking there's a reason why I say that every Republican I've ever heard of before the current leader of our country, that they were all fucking they weren't Republicans, they were socialists. You can know them by their fruits. Look how GW he pardoned Gorbachev, gave him the Presidio. Look how GW said in his New World Order speech at the end, he said that he would do his best to fulfill the intent of the writers of the UN Charter. Look who wrote the UN Charter. Elgar Hiss and his fucking communist, what is that word? Comrades. And then look how the UN magically gets a Nazi as the Secretary General from 1971 to 1982. What the fuck is his name? Oh, fuck, not Kurt Waldheim. Was it Kurt? Yeah, Kurt Waldheim. And that then look at how 1969 or 1970 they put a Nazi in charge of Interpol. And then think about this whole Interpol thing, where it's like, was it Interpol or was it for sure it was Interpol. But then, interestingly enough, 50 so years later, Dennis Cuddy brings up how Obama had granted Interpol diplomatic immunity in this country, revoking Executive Order 12 something something something. I mean, I read it last night on the podcast, but it's like there's connections with all these big money, big banks, Chase Manhattan Bank, connected to the Nazis and the Rockefellers, and that there's more than one of these Cecil Rhodes British imperialist foundations lurking in the midst, which are trying to push world government, socialist government, British control. Notice how in the United Nations Security Council, England gets 3 votes, we get 1 vote. So our representative in the United States, part of the Security Council of the UN, only gets 1 vote, but England gets 3. Look how small England is. Why does England get 3? You better start asking yourself questions like that, because And not only that, but in the General Assembly of the UN, England gets 7 votes to R1. I'm pretty sure. So in 2 different specific, and I can dig up the laws on that too if anybody wants to, because I've dug up these laws and shit. Where the Secretary of the Treasury is simultaneously the governor of the fund of the International Monetary Fund. I mean, there's some stuff going on that people are not understanding. Let me quit smoking cigarettes. I cut back on weed too. It means I don't have to cut back on podcasting, because if I don't podcast, I don't really smoke any weed, unless it's like some hanging out with somebody or something. But like, well, I guess I'm hanging out with y'all. So, well, back to that UN stuff. It makes you wonder about Department Publication 7277. It makes you wonder about the excuse me. Makes you wonder, because when I was looking into the, I proved it on this podcast about the Open Skies Treaty and its connection with the disarmament, and how fucking, there's something crazy going on. I don't know what it is, but like, I think there's a reason why they've drilled these giant holes underground for so long. That's to hide stuff from Russia. Because I believe that's definitely important. Russia doesn't need to know what America does. Fuck Russia. Their fucking Open Skies Treaty that they fucking shoved into our fucking, a country has a right to be sovereign. And if America isn't sovereign, then Americans aren't free. And that that's the whole name of the tune. And that the Americans don't have the sovereignty, the country and the state does. The state is supposed to protect against the encroachment of the rights of the citizens. And that fucking that's what the constitutional government is. Our government is the Constitution. And that fucking when they entered into that UN bullshit, they violated the fucking Congressional War Powers Clause. And that, and that's in the books, that many senators and congressmen were screaming to the rooftops, like, what the fuck? You can't enter into this. This is unconstitutional. You're giving the UN delegations over the United States fucking armed fucking forces. And that the under Article 43, Article 42 through Article 45, all of those have to pertain to it, with the Participation Act, with all this other stuff, and that the makes you wonder what the hell they're doing. Is it all about pushing every country into being under the thumb of the International Monetary Fund, the Bank of International Settlements? Is that what it's all about? To force the whole world under a paper money system? Is that what it's all about? Because I believe that's what it's all about. What does this have to do with the price of rice in China, you say? Well, let me elaborate. The value of silver right now, $80 an ounce. That in 1963, an ounce of silver was roughly $1.15, which was minimum wage. And that that 1963 minimum wage, you can make an ounce of gold in 30 hours. Today, you work 30 hours, you make less than an eighth of an ounce of gold. An ounce of gold right now is about $6,000. So in 30 hours in 1963, you would make $6,000 of today's money. That the buying power of silver should be $1 for 24 grams of silver, and that that's 1963. That's what it was. And then people today, you tell them that, they're like, oh, so 'cause there's something. This whole inflation has to. They need to reverse this inflation. If they can reverse it and we can visually see the reversal of the inflation, that would be wonderful. That'd be a good start. Uh, but like, I don't know. It's a whole different time at the same time. It's like they're using all sorts of oil and goods and all sorts of uh, exports, imports, all this stuff. It's a whole different world with all these giant robot factories and all this stuff that it's like the only way to make something out of nothing is to I think would be these robot farms. I mean, I don't like the whole robot thing, but like, it's like if they had robot workers and stuff doing everything, I don't know. This whole alien thing makes you wonder. It's like, is it all bullshit, or is the Nazi Fourth Reich getting ready to show aliens to the world and then like take over the whole world or something? Nobody knows. Fucking keep in mind, this is all just speculation. The nobody knows what's going on exactly. Definitely, I would assume there's a lot of psyops. If there isn't a lot of psyops, then I would assume there's a lot of retards. Okay. For some reason, I got kicked off my own podcast. Damn it, what the fuck is my train of thought? Nazis and aliens? What the fuck? That's fucking bullshit. Where'd the picture go? What the fuck just happened? How the fuck did that picture just get taken down? Are you kidding me? What, I got ghosts in the fucking website here? What the fuck is going on? That's fucking bullshit. Fucking goddamn bullshit. Son of a bitch. These motherfuckers. Yeah, that could be just the website's fucking retarded. Let's see here. Okay, well, my voice sounds like it's pretty hit. Yeah, I don't see any flags or anything on my YouTube thing. Well, I don't know why that just failed on me here, but I'm putting that image back up. The image is going back up. What are we? Summon David Wilcock's ghost? No. Okay. Well, I forget what that was. It's talking about aliens or something. Yeah, for all we know, they're going to fake an alien invasion and take over the whole world. The Nazis. I think Dennis Cuddy's research is very interesting and detrimental to at least one of the parties of the New World Order that wants to destroy America. That it's like it's just crazy how like
the one country in the world that wants freedom. Everybody wants to come to our country and be like, oh, fuck your freedom. Like we want stuff that's against your freedom. And it's like, what? That's ridiculous. Like you came here to be free, now you're fucking trying to push your bullshit on us. What was it? Yeah, it was, what was I getting at about those with the New World Order stuff? Oh, God damn it. I was like, lost my train of thought when the fucking thing kicked me off. Like, what the fuck? It's fucking bullshit. Okay. Well, let me try to get back on track here. What was I talking about? The Interpol, Obama, something. I was going to bring up something about the alien bullshit. I mean, it all has to do with theosophy and all this bullshit as well. No, I should probably just pass out. This weed seems like it's like ultra light or something. Well, I guess let me just see if anybody goes back on the Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, Phil recommended a lot of great movies earlier on JJ's podcast. Star Chamber, that's one of them. I wrote them down. Monkey Shines, no, Monkey Shines, 1988. Short Time, that was a pretty good. Cloak and Dagger, Sleepers, Hero, 1992. Like pretty good movies. No, old school movies are always cool. There's always a big thing to like go to the movie store, you know, and you're like walking around, you're like, which movie do I pick? Oh, they're always so deceiving. You look at the cover, it looks like it's some kind of badass movie. Then you end up picking it, and then fucking some kind of garbage movie. You're like, oh, fuck. I wasted $3.75. I mean, times are different. People are taking knowledge at slower rates. Sometimes it's better to think about the stuff real slow. That's why I like to talk slow, because it's especially when I'm talking about Masonic stuff or some of the law stuff. The dramatic effect on the pause, you know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass out here soon. Pretty tired. What am I getting at? Okay, my mind's drawing a blank here. A lot of stuff to be talked about this Brother 12 book and these consciousness cults and just all this type of stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, it's like the best way I can explain it. It's kind of like Art Bell, where like Art Bell seems like a smart man. He seems, I think he seems intelligent, but he was always promoting fanaticism, stuff that wasn't real, that people were making up, and that I think that's what the people did who were handling the Wilcock situation. they were convincing him to get into fanaticism, and then he winding back to the whole what was that example I was going to bring up? Fuck. The oh yeah, Art Bell. So like Art Bell, he has all these wackos and stuff on his show. My mouth. What was that show? Art Bell, now I can't think of what it's called. Does anybody remember what that was called? Art Bell, the radio show or whatever. But so anyways, he promoted all this fanaticism, and then he writes a book called what the fuck is that book name? He writes a book called it's the same name as Highlander 2, The Quickening. Calls it The Quickening. And the book is all about consciousness evolution, but it's his own shade of it. And that all these different people are all using different shades of this consciousness evolution bullshit, but they're just masking it into different forms, such as the New Age religion form, or the David Wilcock form, which is basically the same thing, or the Baha'ist form, or the Mormon form, or the it's all the same fucking bullshit. It's consciousness evolution fucking bullshit, and that fucking it's like their consciousness evolution isn't an evolution of consciousness at all, not in the way you think. What it is a transmutation of belief into a thought form, which is an active hive mind cloud thought group mind, according to Alice Bailey and some of the other writers. It's like they're using animal magnetism to magnetize people into being a one functioning body, like a group of cells. I went over this with the hypnosis documents in from the books, where it's like they act as a collective, and that they are one, but they're not physically one, but they're all thinking the same thing, and that they're all programmed to think it, and that they're all that type of ideology is very dangerous, because it was what started the French Revolution, which was not a revolution like the American Revolution. The Americans had taste, but the French were barbaric, cruel. The French, goddamn France, part of French, but only like less than 1/8 French. Nah, it's irrelevant. All right. Well, I forgot sparking cigarette. Maybe I'll smoke one more cigarette. Nah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, what was I getting at? Nobody brought up the name of that Art Bell show. What the fuck was that called? Conspiracy or I can't remember. Is anybody even out there? I think everybody's asleep. Well, my point about all that though was that these consciousness evolution cults, they always are surrounded with insanity. That all these people with their thinking that quartz crystals or these jewels will do zodiac cults, the astrology cults, the fucking so it's not really a cult per se, but it's why is this tobacco so moist? But it's like these doctrines are always hid in these fanaticist groups. Aliens, consciousness evolution, doesn't matter. All sorts of different fringe things, flat earth, Tartaria, it's all fucking the same bullshit. They're using fanaticism as something that the consciousness evolution spell. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Spell, but like how it this animal magnetism. It's like the animal magnetism is moves through these fanaticist groups, and that collective mindsets occur, and that I'm trying to describe this in like a psychological, scientific type of viewpoint, because I mean technically I went to college and stuff for that type of bullshit, but like my professor or whatever, she always thought it was really funny, but she was some German lady. She always thought it was really funny. It was funny though because she always hated all the stoners, but she had no problem whatsoever with me just reeking of weed. That was just funny. But yeah, so it's like the it's like how this Candace Owens and all these other wacko people, like, I guarantee they're pushing some kind of consciousness evolution in their stuff, and that that's how you know if somebody's just an honest, like YouTuber or something is trying to discuss stuff, because like me and many others, we're not pushing me and like all the YouTubers I know, we don't push consciousness evolution. We're not trying to push some kind of Christ consciousness bullshit. We're not and there's a lot of YouTubers and stuff and podcasters that are. And they're doing what the people around the world want them to do. Creating replicating doctrines and then masking it with their own insanity. That's what I see when I see a lot of these. No offense to like occult rejects, and those, but a lot of them are like the headless giant. They're pushing doctrine that is just a remanufactured illuminist consciousness evolution bullshit. It's like the consciousness evolution bullshit is, I learned about that back in like 2007, 2006, and like that I believed in it at first, but then I realized it was a scam because I had came across Bill Cooper's research, his audio in 2007, and then I listened to it and realized that I was a dummy and that fucking had been on a research journey to expose this consciousness evolution bullshit for almost 17 years now. That expose it for being a fraud, for it being evil. That that it's no. I used to know this really beautiful woman. Back before I met my girlfriend, that she looked like Nicole Kidman or something, but with more curly hair. but she was brainwashed by all that new age consciousness evolution bullshit. She thought she was Jesus or something, and that she she committed suicide, and like it was fucked up, and like it was just fucked up. It was like that's why I've always despised this Christ consciousness bullshit, because people in real life have affected themselves in negative ways, in which you know, and that these fanaticisms are, these consciousness evolution cults, they're dangerous, because people like David Wilcock, they lose their mind, and then they
I mean, that's the psychological point. Why do I keep getting kicked off my own shit? Because it's like, all of our culture seems to have been like manufactured, and that we really need to dig down to the roots and the origins of everything to try to just figure out, I mean, well, I guess for America, it's, well, I like to dig into American history, because like, 'cause I don't really have any full ethnicity of anything, I'm all sorts of different stuff, but like, so American history is what I find very important, and like, not necessarily like artifacts or something, but more along the lines of simply what they believed, what they thought freedom was. What do they think freedom was? The people that made this country. What is freedom to them? No, that cigarette was pretty good. Who the fuck's Harry at? Usually he comes on here and, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Hopefully he's okay. What was I gonna? It's like America and the, what the country was started for was so everybody could have freedom, not so they could push their bullshit on other people. And that this United Nations, the highest bullshit, it's being pushed on people, just like all the other bullshit. It's gradually being pushed on people. It's how the Soviets, that's how they used to work. And then we don't know who's. I mean, you can dial in which corporations and stuff are pushing what, but when you look at it, generally speaking, it's all the same type of like peer pressure culture that's crafted by socialist engineers that want people to not like America, and that I mean, that's just disgusting. Who would do such a thing? Like, these Soviets are not to be trusted, and they've got all the youths running around wearing Soviet fucking hats and stuff, and Soviet, all sort of calling each other comrade and shit. They don't understand. They do not understand what the USSR was and how dangerous it was. And they don't understand that the UN has been stepping on America's toes for quite some time, and that this whole national debt, 24% of the federal income taxes went to the UN for over 50 years. Or who knows how long, at least since the Participation Act, which I'm pretty sure was 1947. And so all that money, part of the national debt, a huge chunk of the national debt is because of the UN. the International Monetary Fund, and all these fucking banksters and all this shit. And then all these fucking people that are aligned with communism think they're gonna help the common man be free, but they're not. They're doing what the UN and the international bankers want them to do. And that's why you'll find pictures of Rockefeller with Fidel Castro and Rockefeller with Chinese leaders and Rockefeller with all these communists, you know, not to mention Rockefeller's involvement with Nazis. The big picture is much bigger than what you can imagine. And that, you know, it all kind of reminds me of, well, I'm not going to bring that movie up, but, you know, it's like, it's all, you know, for all we know, the UFOs could all be Russians. We don't know what it is. It could all be Russian stuff. We don't know. The Russians, the Fourth Reich, Nazis, are they at war with each other or are they aligned? Who knows? Nobody knows what really happened in World War II. I think Dennis Cuddy's research on that is part detrimental in a lot of big ways. So is Bill Cooper's, and that you know, because some of those World War II episodes that Cooper does are really good. They're really in depth. Excuse me. He doesn't actually have them labeled too well or anything, but no, I guess I'm gonna pass out. Maybe I'll spit a rap before I go. Let's see. What's one with? I think I'll do this one right here. What is this called? Doctor. Turn this up a little bit. Oh wait, this is that B with the broken B. Different one. I think this is okay. Nah, I should just bust out my guitar. Nah, I might just pass out here. I don't know, like 6 hours, including the other podcast. That's a long time. Nah, I don't think I can make up any lyrics. Yo, paranormal. Smoke so much weed that I'm informed that going back to normal. Smoke weed like, yo, it's formal. I don't know. Yo, I got some ghost stories full of the most glory, or did I mean glory? Go through like I foresee like a psychic. I don't know. Nah, like it. Yo, a rap about specifics, needed in logistics. statistics. Yo, playing basketball like the Pistons. Go through smoking on some Winstons. Yo. I reiterate, and then I talk shit about those that assimilate. Yo. And then I speak in different rates. Yo. And then I make you mimic fate. Yo. A different state. Smoke weed, let's deliberate. Yo. Deliver it, exhibit it. Yo. I heard that you a fanatic getting wait. I lost. Yo, I'm like a Doberman. I'm seeing the Doberman. Going to sleep, passing out. It's the last to shout. Yo, so hit the like button. Yo, I'll make a comment saying that this shit is vomit. Peacefully cleaned up with comment. Yo, and then I get smoked out with chronic. Yo, nah. Yo, nah, I can't think of anything. I got 10 viewers. I'm on the skewer. Fire's burning. Got people yawning, coming back with words quick. Absurdist. Smoke weed and Sturgis. Y'all motherfuckers driving, making mergers. Yo, eating hamburgers. Like hamburgers. Yo, yo, I rap about conspiracy. I rap about conspiracy. Can't think of anything rhymes with that. Yo, I'm researching because I need purpose. I'm trying to think. Yo, my mind is blinking. I'm thinking. I heard that the cultists think that they're alien, reincarnated. Far from fascinating. And I heard they worship black disdain. Yo, motherfucking talking shit. Yo, I had to make it. Come back with a statement. Talk shit. Like, better wait quick. Cause I'm a hypocrite. Talk shit with this. Yo, keep it elliptical. Y'all motherfuckers. Keep my shit indivisible. Yo, rolling up weed on the minimal. Yo, I heard your rapping is pitiful. They better take you and get rid of you. Yo, I got my shit chilling like Austin Powers, mini the affinity. Smoke weed in the vicinity. Yo, feeling up like I'm in a clinic G. Yo, now we do one more beat. Oh yeah, that's done. Yo, I smoke too much weed. My brain is low function. Need to go eat some more munchies. I can get lunch quick. Yo, I rap about it. My mind is clouded. I want in the background I shouted. Yo, I roll a zigzag, and then I'm back in the streets. I'm tagging on the bridge like, yo. Yo, I gotta straight European called Fryline. Talk shit like motherfucking, I don't know. Alright, fuck. Well, the beat's gotta be all stupid. And finally, like, Chicago style beats. It looks like a Megadeth album cover. Yo, I'm on the microphone, starving, chilling here, barfing, out to eat some motherfucking food. Like, what's up? Yo, cook some eggs out the egg carton. From a store owned by Spartan. Chilling like about to drink St. Martin's. Yo, a drink. Yo, I got a receipt. Rap to the beat. I have to just speak. Yo, match to the beat. Hey, said beat 2 times. Gotta make up some new rhymes. Get a song that, I don't know. Yo, like I'm on whose line is it? Come back with the rhyme exquisite. Smoke weed, it's the lime and shit with. Talk shit, motherfucker you in it with. Come back with the rhyme on some slick shit. Yo, I did it. Y'all motherfuckers, you some midgets. Yo. Rap like I levitate. Smoke weed, gonna receive hella hate. Yo. Yeah. Yo. Yo. I'm back at the equinox like Vernal. Got motherfucking smoking weed eternal. Yo, I burn dro. This is my 3rd row of joints that I smoke with. Motherfuckers, I got the notion. Feeling like I'm chilling up in the ocean. Yo, you set the cup down, you better have a coaster. You know, you feeling like you're riding on a roller coaster. This makes sense. Yo, yo, I rap about it. My mind is cloudy. Come back like you doubt it. Yo, it's forsaken, awaken. Yo, with the hurricane devastation. Yo, like I'm in this basement. Reality, like motherfucking grams of reality. Yo, I'm on Twitter, not a quitter. Yo. Alright, I'm going to sleep. Alright, peace out.